Start.
So now go back into stream yard.
Hey!
Last minute technical things.
Hey,
So go ahead and click on comments and we can see what everybody.
This is what you call on-the-job training.
I love it. Hey guys, welcome to this very special live stream that we are doing today about an event that we are super excited about. We've been actually planning this and working, well, really we've been hurry up and waiting for it for a little while here. But we're here to give you sort of the first results of the Wheel of Time fantasy draft.
You want to go and get the
that we started in when was it actually was it a month ago? Was it like a month and a half ago? I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was at least a month ago that we created teams for this.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Anyway, before we get into that, we're gonna want our guest in for this, so I don't know why I'm trying to do more than is important. If you are here, you probably already know who we are, but you very well may not. So we should introduce ourselves. The three men that you see sitting before you here are the Mahales from the Black Tower podcast. And we have a Wheel of Time podcast that we do every Tuesday that comes out every Friday. And we'd love for you to come and listen to it for our actual episodes. They are super fun. They are super enjoyable. We talk about a lot of different topics as far as the Wheel of Time is concerned. And we'd love to have you there. If you would like to get more information about us, I'm sure there's going to be a link in the description of this video and all of that different stuff. But you can go to blacktowerpod.com. It has seriously everything. It has everything. Just go there. You will definitely get any and all information that you want about us. But before we go any further, hi, I am your Amin Khan Mahale, Daniel.
And I am your Bajan Mahale, Andrew.
And I am your Tsoravan Mahale, Josh.
So now that you know who we are, let's talk a little bit about why we're here and what we're going to be doing.
So, one of our fantastic Patreons, and we're going to have him, he's going to be joining us here in a few minutes.
Correct.
And due to our kind of setup, you might hear a little bit of echo. We're going to do what we can to mitigate and minimize that. But just know that's happening, and it's just kind of, we got three people, and we don't have a three-way splitter.
Three.
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Is it that kind of show?
Maybe.
That's our only taints.
That's the after show.
Three-way.
But we're going to try to mitigate as much as we can. But one of our fantastic patrons, you might know him as Mac, you might know him as Matthew. He created a fantasy draft. So think the NFL kind of fantasy draft. But we're doing a Wheel of Time fantasy draft where each season of the TV show is a season of the draft. So obviously we've got the first three games to kind of go through and hope that later on I can resume my shit talking because it doesn't look great right now, but
well, to be fair, I do want to say if any of you joined us for our live stream before when we set all of this up, it was super cool and it was super fun, and Smack did everything that he could about putting in all of the characters that we knew about. But as Josh and I talked about earlier, we actually had a pretty small pool to pull from because Amazon was actually quite tight-lipped about a lot of actors and a lot of characters that were going to be in the show. And so we did have, the Emmons Field 5. We had
reading a comment.
Sorry, okay.
Emmons Field 5.
We did have the Emmons Field 5. We had Maureen. We had Lon. We had, a number of different people, but we didn't have a full cast. Like, we didn't have the full show worth of people to choose from. And so our pool of people was like 35 people big or something like that.
It was pretty good. And
no, it was pretty small. It was super small. And definitely, I'm not saying that I necessarily would have changed my team. I might have chosen most of the same characters, even if other people had been available. But there's definitely other people that I would have liked to see to consider that we just didn't have any announcements about.
Yeah.
And so they weren't on our list. So now that we've actually seen the first 3 episodes, we can totally drop people and pick other people up. And there's a lot more characters that are available to do so.
Yeah. So here's how we're going to do this. once we bring in Smack, he is our commissioner for the fantasy draft. We're going to let him talk a little bit about how it came to be and kind of how things work. So those of you that maybe don't know or didn't catch that live stream or aren't in our Discord to see the doc on it that explains the rules, you're not sitting there like, why are these guys talking about and giving out points for stuff?
Right.
So we're going to let Smack explain all that. And then once he's explained kind of how the draft works, we're going to talk briefly about episode 1. Then we'll go over the points for episode 1. Then we'll talk briefly about episode 2, points for episode 2, and the same for episode 3. But with that, most of the time of the stream, we'll put it up. You'll see it in the chat. If you are watching us on anything other than YouTube, you're going to have to come over to the YouTube chat to participate. We're going to do a giveaway. The giveaway is going to be open for 45 minutes, and the giveaway is for this. This is a 30th edition. Here, you want to take that closer to people?
Yeah, get that up so we can see, because our lighting is a bit.
Yeah. This is a 30th edition or 30th anniversary copy of The Eye of the World. It is hardcover, and it is beautiful.
It's fucking gorgeous. It's not just beautiful. This is one of the most fucking beautiful books I've ever.
It's a work of art.
It's so shiny. So let's see. We can prop this up somewhere on the table, right?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Perfect.
There it is.
And then with that, we're not going to write on the book.
No,
Yes.
Not at all. So what we have is our fantastic sponsor, the Crystal Barista, printed up these inserts. It's going to have some designs on there that you probably haven't seen that we had up for another idea.
So it's got our lovely logo there at the top, just so that you know where it came from. We definitely wanted to thank anyone who was part of the contest. And again, this phrase right here, thank you for your support, goes to literally anyone and all people watching and literally anybody and all people who join the contest. But it is printed forever on the one that the person wins. And then we will be signing the insert underneath each of our sort of icons there that you see, which, as Andrew already stated, is kind of new.
Yeah.
And you probably won't have seen before. And then we are planning on going ahead and getting these laminated so that they are, so that they don't get destroyed even if you sort of travel with them and things like that.
So now I see a lot of you guys in the comments saying that you're too nerdy for fantasy football, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I've never done. Have you ever done a fantasy football league?
Yes.
Okay, so Daniel is the only one here who has. Smack, who I'm going to be bringing in just a second, is the one who kind of put this together. Basically, what it is you pick your team. Okay, you pick characters and you say, this is my team. And if they do a good thing, you get points. If they do a bad thing, you lose points. And whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins. And half the fun of this is trash talking.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's like 78% of it.
I am going.
The fun is trash talking.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not. It's more than half.
I'm going to bring in Smack so that he can talk.
I see what you did.
Oh.
there.
Welcome to the stream, Smack.
How's it going,
Thank you
dude?
guys. Thank you guys.
Okay, can everybody hear Smack? Because
Smack.
I cannot.
You hear me?
Uh-oh. No, still not.
Ruh-roh.
Do you have the stream muted?
I do not.
You can't really just like mute your audio from StreamYard. You should be able to hear it.
Can you hear me?
Is your output still in the same thing?
Okay, so you guys, the listeners, you can hear Smack right now, right?
Okay.
We just can't. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
We cannot. Let's do this. Where is my
Right there. Audio.
that's input?
Mm-hmm. And it should just default to whatever your computer's output is.
Can you check your volume to see where the
Yeah, I
output is?
did. It's...
No, can you check your volume on your computer
Oh, maybe.
to check what the output is? Yay! Technical difficulties.
Okay, go ahead again, Smack. Say something nice
Something nice.
about my mother.
She's a wonderful
Dude.
woman.
Was it on the
This
right?
is,
We could hear him before we started.
We could hear it before.
Oh.
What do we do? What do we
Is
All
it-
right, let's do this.
Is it on the right device?
Let's see.
Is that the correct device?
It is. But let's do this. Open
Oh.
sound settings.
It wouldn't be
Uh-oh.
a Black Tower show without technical.
Without technical, if the taint had not made itself known unto us, we would not have an actual show. So you guys know how this works.
Actually, do me a favor. Open up your sound mixer just real quick. You guys are getting real-time IT.
Yay!
Open up your sound mixer.
From the non-IT guy.
Mix your sound.
Oh, just calm your tits. My goodness.
There we go.
Firefox is up all the way, so that's definitely not muted. Well, shit. Do you have any other speakers that you could hook up?
I mean, I could put my Bluetooth headset in. Maybe that would do something.
We couldn't hear.
Yeah, I know.
One person would be able to hear. Actually, can you check that? Is the tab muted? Is anything muted?
Oh!
Are you kidding
Try
me
it
right
now, Smack. There we go!
I am going to smack you in the neck.
I love it. I love it.
Now,
Can I just say, okay, I want to say this out loud because I love this. We've actually talked about this a few times this weekend. This guy right here does IT. This guy right here does IT. I don't do IT.
I'm not on the clock right now, so
Andrew is the extremely technical one who will be able to tell you everything about your system and probably what's wrong if it's a very complicated issue. Josh is the one who's going to think way outside the box and really fuck around with your system
and there, it sends it out.
Okay.
Freak you out a little bit with what's going on. I'm the one who goes, is your machine on right now?
But you know what? It works.
No, it does. That's why we are like the perfect mix of knowledge and common sense. Like,
so for those of you that aren't patrons,
all right,
if you want to just get a glimpse into what being a patron is like,
this is the quality content you're missing out on.
It's like half of our live streams start off this way. Is everybody working? Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me?
Anyway,
I can't describe how many times I've heard Daniel say, "Okay, go to settings now."
Yeah. So, but what we're going to do now is we're going to mute our mic. And Smack, we're going to let you take it away to kind of explain some of the rules and stuff. If you need us to pull up your screen share so that you have a visual for it, we can. Just let us know.
Well, I can do the short version or I can do the full presentation again. But I was just going to do the short version.
I think we can do the short version, like the gist of it, and kind of how it came to be and all that kind of stuff. And we'll let you take that away now.
All righty. Thank you, guys. This came a couple years ago. I just kind of wanted to do this. You know, I thought, there's fantasy football and there's even fantasy for like The Bachelor. But my favorite fantasy series was coming to life and I wanted to do something special for it. And I like fantasy football and I like football. But I love the Wheel of Time and I wanted something more that I could do with it. So I kind of created a little bit of a system and I shot it over to the guys at the Black Tower and they gracefully said, "Hey, you guys should check this out. It's not totally terrible." And so I said, "Okay, cool." And I put it together and we did this draft about a month and a half ago. And I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting to show you guys and to show them and to see how it all turned out. And I hope it turns out great. I've already seen some stuff that I need to change, but we're changing it on the fly. We're working, and that's why I get to be the commissioner. All right. So that, we can fix things on the fly. But with that being said, I'll just kind of go over how it works, how you score points in this and how you do. So say you're each going to pick characters. And if your character does a certain action in 3 different categories, in combat, in romance, or in the magic system, it's each a positive or a negative. In a combat situation, you can win a fight and gain points, lose a fight and lose points, kill a person, gain, kill a channeler or a shadow spawn, more points, and like a Forsaken, even more points. Now, on the opposite end of that spectrum, if your character dies by a channeler or a shadow spawn, that's a negative. If they die by just a normal person, that's a negative. And if they die by just some random cast member that you don't have a name for, it's even worse. I wanted to incorporate romance. I just kind of felt like it needed to be in there, and so I did. And for mutual flirting, I gave it a plus. For any kind of intimate activity, and then a full-fledged hookup, all score you points. And it's the same way, anything on the opposite end of that spectrum, anything unwanted, anything that makes anybody feel uncomfortable, would subtract from you. And thank goodness we haven't seen any of that, actually. But just to make sure. And then the magic system. Anytime you're using magic, you get a couple of points. A magic kill would be worth a set amount of points. But here's the difference between a magic kill and a combat kill. A magic kill is 5 points across the board. Only 5. A combat kill is more for shadow spawn, because it's harder to kill a shadow spawn with a sword than it is a person. And it is as a general rule. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. And I see them laughing. And when we get to episode 2, there's a special award that we do get to give out just because it'll be fun. But there's also a special one on the first episode. So we'll see how that goes. And then winning a magic duel. I'm sorry to get sidetracked. Winning a channeler duel is 7 points. And then discovering a new magic, lost magic, a new talent, is all plus 10. And then for magic negatives, not able to use the magic, -2. Loses the magic duel, -5. Misusing magic with bad consequences is -7. And unable or unwilling to do something they can easily do is a -10. And that is the rough scoring break for now. So, and I totaled that scene with Moraine and Lan, watched it multiple times. And I will say this, kills need to happen on screen.
Yeah.
That way I know exactly where they're at.
Yes.
There's other ways, there's no way to count how many kills Moraine had.
Or
no way. So, yes.
Fair enough. So we're going to go ahead. It was a fantastic explanation.
Yes, thank you very much, Spec. That
We're
was
gonna go
actually
ahead.
both super in-depth and also nicely quick.
So we're going to go ahead and start the giveaway.
All right.
So again, you got to be on YouTube in the YouTube chat for the giveaway. Yep, just click start giveaway.
Here it is.
And it'll StreamYard or Streamlabs will pop up the text, the intro. I think it's ! giveaway once it pops up.
Yep.
And then you can enter into the giveaway to receive this.
The book.
And that'll be open for 45 minutes. So it
There
may
it is.
close.
It is open.
Exclamation point giveaway.
And anybody can enter except for us.
Except for us.
So Smack can enter. We can't.
Yes.
Oh,
There it is.
Indeed. All right. So, first things first. As I said, thank you very, very much, Smack. I think that was a fantastic explanation of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how it's being done. But we have yet to actually talk about these episodes because we just watched it yesterday. So again, this is going to be a relatively short thing about the episodes. I'm sure that we will talk ad nauseum about them again later in other different forums and things like that. But just really quick, if you will. What did you guys think? Like, what was your just episode 1? How do you feel?
I'm going to try to keep this a calm response.
Right?
Fuck yeah!
Sorry.
So
that was a calm
No, that was
response.
awesome.
when I was at the
I threw out my
screener
shoulder.
in Denver on Monday when they first aired episodes 1 and 2, I made the observation that inside the theater there was cheering, there was gasping, there was crying, there was clapping, there was stomping along with the beat, and there was all kinds of fun things. And I was like, what a unique experience. Like, that's never going to happen again. And then I invite these guys over and a couple of other friends who have read the books. And there's 7 of us in my basement watching this going, yeah, oh my God. Like, it was perfect.
It wasn't hundreds of people, but it was the same response.
It was also the same
just less
volume, oddly enough. But I'm 2 thumbs way up. I think the changes were bold, but they are the result of translating from a book medium to a television show medium. And it kickstarts a lot of character growth for people. And there's just a lot to it. And it's going to be a lot to unpack. And if you're unsure about a change now, I can say with complete faith, give it time. And it will make perfect sense.
I can't say with complete faith, give it time. You should still give it time. But I can guarantee that there are still going to be changes that people don't like, even when they get to the reason.
Yes.
And that's okay. You're not necessarily supposed to like everything about a show. You're not necessarily supposed to like everything about a book. I mean, there are characters like Gawain, who's just fucking terrible. Always and forever in so many ways. And I don't like him. I think that he's appropriate in the books as a shitty character, but I don't like him. Yeah. And so again, also, I mean, anybody who's watching the show and you're on the fence about something or you're worried that something was a bad choice, give it time.
Yeah.
Please give it time to fully blossom into what their intent for it is. And even at the end of it, if you find something that you don't like, by all means, don't like that thing. And if there's enough in the show that you don't like, sure, stop watching it. But also look at how much you do like. That's if true. There's a lot of awesome shit going on, don't toss the baby out with the bathwater.
No, don't toss the baby out with the bathwater. Toss the dice.
Oh, excellent.
But something I want to say, and I've told these guys this like 2 or 3 times. I know we are inevitably going to have discussions on how X is different than Y, how in the books, like how it happened in the TV show versus the books.
Brother.
And what I'm also asking but cautioning is give people the credence of their verbiage.
Yes.
Because there are things already that I have seen that most of us have seen things that are different. That's fairly obvious. And there are things I've seen that I already kind of don't love or really like that much, but it doesn't mean that I hate the show.
Sure.
It just means that I like what happened in the book better than what I like on the screen. Doesn't mean I don't like it any less.
And
there are other things that I'm reserving judgment on, like Josh said, to see what is the purpose of this change. Because I have a lot of faith in Sarah and Rafe and the rest of the team.
Yeah.
That they're not going to make a change or a fairly significant change, or what maybe even we see as a significant change, without taking and providing an impetus for it, like showing us why this works so well. So when you're having these conversations and somebody goes, I don't like this change, I liked it where it was Batman in the books a lot more, don't freak out. Most people aren't saying I hate the show. Most people are saying like it's different.
That's actually what I was just about to say there. Just because something is different doesn't mean that is bad, which is what you just said. But it's also, I mean, along with that, to put that into context and things like that, the show can be an 8, whereas the book can be a 9, which means that saying I liked what happened in the book better, it was different, does not mean that you are saying what happened in the show is bad. And an 8 for a show is fucking phenomenal. So if you were watching the show first and got an 8, that's amazing. It's just that what happened in the book was a 9, and so you still liked what happened in the book better, even though what happened in the show wasn't bad at all.
True.
It's still an 8.
It's true. Smack.
Let's ask this question.
Oh, go ahead.
And I was actually going to start with Smack.
Boom.
So that our fantastic guest and commissioner here isn't sitting there just like listening to us ramble like he does normally anyway. So what is one scene, if you had to pick one scene from episode 1 that stuck out the most to you without spoiling any of the other episodes, not because nobody's watched them, but because we haven't gotten to them yet, and without spoiling later events in the books for people that are maybe watching this and haven't read the books.
Sure.
As much as you can, tell us why. So one scene stood out to you or was impactful to you that you want to point out and tell us why as much as you can without really spoiling.
Perfect.
You know, I'll tell you, I had a favorite scene, and it wasn't impactful, but it was just my favorite scene, and it was Daisy Conger trash talking a Trolloc. You know, that's when the whole thing turned.
I'm sorry.
It
I
was so
love
good.
that. You want a real feast? Come get some. Ah!
And at that time, like there was no coordinated ambush for that Trolloc. She just went. She just, she was just like, "Hey, come get me, come get me." And
I'm drinking one right now for Dice Conger. You know what? Like, I never thought I'd drink one for a Conger, but here it is, right there, to Dice Conger. Like, that was just brilliant.
The only
and the
good
women's
thing a Conger has ever fucking done.
And to the women of Emmons Field.
Yes.
Krajan
Kaldazar.
Krajan Brethren.
Taishar Daisy Conger for the one.
Okay, so that was a great scene. I
great
absolutely love it.
All right, Josh.
Okay, so one scene that stood out to me in episode 1. Okay. Tam pulling the sword box out from under the bed, pulling the sword out and being like, "Here," and then just boom, like the look on his face as he pulls the swords out. Oh yeah, the heron on top. For a flash of a second, you see the heron on top of the box, and Tam like boom, like just unsheathes the sword. He's like, "It's time to dance, bitch," and he does, man. He goes to town. It was great. That was the standout scene for me. That was. I loved it. What about you, Daniel? What was the standout scene for you?
So surprisingly, my standout scene from episode 1, which is a change, but was so impactful because I felt like, again, I understood why the change was happening. I understood all of that, is Egwene and Rand being intimate. Their sort of implied sex scene, if you will, just gives so much in one package of you don't need Rand to tell you and tell his friends a bunch of times as they travel that, he and Egwene are basically betrothed and they've only ever really been, interested in the other one. You don't need the eventual sort of like growing up of the characters as much because it instantly adults them in some ways, and not like an adult film, but like just matures them and things like that. And I thought it actually just did a lot of really good foundational stuff with just a single scene of two human beings connecting in a way that is extremely meaningful to a lot of human beings
and realistic.
It felt really organic. And it felt like it sets up a lot of other stuff without necessarily needing to take all of the foundation that we had. It's also biological.
Some might call it an organ.
Right? Before, needing to go ahead and spend a ton of time elsewhere in the series putting together the foundation of Egwene and Rand and why that matters later. Anyway. What do you got, Andrew?
Mine is actually the first scene.
Oh,
it's actually the first scene with Leandrin.
So good,
and all of this. Like that is mine because there's been this whole conversation about like, are they going to include the prologue, or are they not? And part of the reason I wanted them to is because it includes some crucial elements to just explaining how bad the taint is, how bad madness is, and they do such a good job with just that scene. Like,
do you know
who are you talking to? There's no one there.
First time through, I missed that.
Oh, really?
I missed it. There were two guys running, and then Leandrin was like, "He's already stricken with the madness. We're gonna kill you."
To get into Leandrin,
but I'm saying, I didn't notice the fact that there was the second dude was just gone all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I didn't catch that.
Let me just say really quickly, she is not my least favorite character in the world after reading the books. There are other characters who are worse. But I didn't think I could hate Leandrin anymore. And I was definitely sitting there being like, this actress has a tall order to make me hate Leandrin as much as I do her in the books. And the writing of that scene and her fucking lines and her delivery. I hate her more now after one scene.
I mean, that's what that was going to be my big thing for that.
Yeah.
Is it also accomplishes early on that onset kind of hatred for at least Leandrin, but for the Red Aja, because if you sit there and like, it was made for women and women alone, and when men touch it, you make it filthy.
Oh,
I'm like, the condescending superiority complex of the shit, and then like her absolute arrogance of being in control, where she's like, "I'm about to wreck this man's world, sisters," and then just
and of course again
the screams were haunting. Actually,
they really were
fucking echoing off of the mountain.
And again, it's that the other mediums, or not mediums, but other shows and things have done this before as well. But the sadistic nature of the way that she curls
it's a gift, really.
Hand,
you should thank me.
And horrible.
And did you know?
But it's so good.
And I know we're not on episode 2 yet.
I'm gonna change my favorite
but did you
scene
notice
to
the
Andrew's
contrast?
because Andrew is so much better.
Contrast with
Okay, we'll get there later.
We'll
okay,
talk
so
about
let's go to episode 1. Smack, do you have point tallies figured out by episode, or is it a total for the end?
Oh, I've got it all.
You've got it all. Okay,
so per episode, per character, even if you don't have them on the board, I have them in my sheet.
Okay,
Excellent.
so do you want me to share your sheet, or is that something that should,
no? Go ahead and share my. You have to do
there
that.
it is, right there.
Shit, nice.
All right, and
so for all of you listening and watching, this is a spreadsheet that Smack has developed for us, and if you notice, you've got. Well, you go ahead and explain it, Smack. It's your spreadsheet.
Okay, I've got every
Tell me
character.
to shut up.
42, by the way, was the number of characters you had in the beginning. 42 characters to draft with at the beginning.
35 was not far off.
No. But I've got every character in here. I've got them color-coded so I know who goes on what team.
Excellent.
I plug it into my spreadsheet, and it'll automatically put it on your guys' scorecards. That way I can enter all of them at once. And as you were talking, Leandrin was the first one to do anything.
Correct.
2 magic points.
Nice.
I only gave her 2 because it was one channeling episode. So I didn't count the severing. It was one channeling episode.
Well, the severing kind of took place off screen too. Like I know they probably started the process. But.
Well, and I also didn't know if it was a sever or a kill. There was a blood-curdling scream, and we never saw it again.
Well, it's also unclear whether she severs him right there or she just hurts him and they shield him later.
Absolutely. That's very true. Okay, so one that I don't think anybody had, but Layla actually had points.
Electronic.
Yeah, she did.
She killed.
Did we have
Trolloc.
Layla on the?
Layla was one of the.
Was she available?
She was. We didn't know who she was. We knew she was Layla Ibarra, but we didn't know.
Did she have an actress on there? I don't.
Yes.
Oh shit! Yeah, she's early.
Oh, I already deleted her. My bad.
Well,
wow.
Okay, spoilers for episode 1, but Layla did. Like she did. Like
she fridged.
She got fridged. She definitely got fridged.
I mean,
but
she
did
got the 7 points, and then she lost the 7 points.
That's right. That's 100% right.
Oh wait, that means Perrin got negative points. Does Perrin get negative? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because you lose points for losing a fight, dying, and blah blah blah.
I'm pretty sure he lost that exchange.
Oh,
he lived.
Don't make it sad.
We're talking about points.
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So I believe that was the only one that wasn't on the scorecards. Those were the only 2. Everybody else was drafted that scored. And surprisingly, coming in with a weird Hail Mary clutch. Abel Coffin gets 2 points for flirting.
He's on board! Yes! He was my only character that I said wasn't on the board, but the commissioner comes in clutch.
Daniel's score sheet. He has the first full score sheet. Every character racked up points in episode 1.
Yes.
No, you got bingo.
I don't think I'm winning after the first 3 episodes, but I do have a full point scorecard. This is great. All right, cool.
That you got a bingo.
I did. I got a bingo. That's a bingo.
I'm gonna save the big 2, which we all know who they are.
Lon and Moraine.
Yes,
Yeah.
but Egwene, obviously scored a lot of points. Actually, the build up with Rand, the before and after flirting, the kissing, and the coitus. 19.
God,
Damn,
you are
all right.
so classy with your commissioning.
Right.
I like this.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to be. And then the scene where her and Nynaeve listen to the wind, which was pretty much described as channeling straight up in episode 1.
I didn't even think about that one.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Nice. All right, who's next?
Okay, let's see here. Next, I have. Nobody's got. Logain didn't score any. Maxim, no.
Oh.
I'm playing the long. I'm playing the
Spoiler
long
alert,
con.
he gonna play. He gonna get some
he
fucking
gonna
points.
play. He gonna get some points.
So hey, question, Commissioner. I know this isn't in the rule book, but if a character I choose lays the proverbial smackdown on other characters of other teammates or other teams, does that mean I get to absorb half their points?
No.
It was worth the ask.
It was
It
worth
was
But
worth it.
here's the thing. It could later win a fight and give them negative while giving you positive.
That was what I was going to say. It doesn't absorb, but it does give you +5 and me -5, or +7 and -7, or whatever.
Tomato orange.
tomato orange.
All right, sorry, continue.
Go ahead. Let's get this.
Okay, so Matt got 2 points for flirting with Danya.
Yeah,
Nice.
there it is.
I love how by and large Andrew's scorecard seems to be the horniest scorecard.
Hey,
He
this
kind of
points
did
are
mention in the draft that he was
you know
banking
what my
on flirt.
favorite thing is in the box.
Yeah, but I have that character.
Aw.
I know you. I only have
because
half
the other
of
one,
that.
because the other one isn't available yet.
Okay, Nynaeve had 2 for listening to the wind
Nice.
with Egwene.
Nice.
I point of order, like, I'm sorry, but Nynaeve pulling out her dagger and
And
screaming
screaming.
back at the Trolloc.
Oh,
I'm fully aware of what I'm doing to myself at this moment, but I think she deserves points for that. Is that a thing? Can we like
No,
throw that in
no.
there?
I
Commissioner's
appreciate
decision.
Cannot.
what you're saying, but no.
Okay.
I would love to, but we can't give. I mean, set that precedent. It starts a slippery slope.
Andrew is
Really does. Okay, now we're to Perrin. Perrin gets 12, unfortunately. It's very
12?
hurtful 12.
Oh.
So he kills the Trolloc, and then Layla gets it.
Yep.
So
Not in the good way.
She got it the other way
prior
earlier.
to the season.
okay, Rand.
And also, this is not the hammer. The hammer is my penis. Dude, the number of times that's getting said with Perrin as a character
It's happening.
for every season is so high. All right, go ahead.
All right. So Rand.
All right. Rand, same as Egwene with their flirtations, and then killing the Trolloc, saving Tam.
Yeah.
Which?
Gives him 26 points for episode 1.
Yeah. Also, oh no, that happens in episode 2. Cool. Yeah, never mind.
Yep,
Never mind.
yep.
Never mind. It was a different
So-
character anyway, so I didn't ruin anything.
That
Yeah.
should be everyone with the exception of the big 2.
Yeah.
Hit the big two now.
Okay.
Come on,
Give Josh and I
Commissioner
our
Daddy.
points.
All right. Lan. We'll
I got
start
you
with
guys
Lan. It was all Trolloc kills. Nothing but Trolloc kills.
Which, dude,
Lan kills 15 Trollocs that I can count.
Jesus.
And here is a fun little fact for you. The separation in Trolloc kills from Lan and Moraine before she literally brought the house down was
He's
1.
beating her by 2.
Wow.
I said that to Josh after we finished episode 1. I was like, hey, bitch, I was beating you by 2 Trollocs until she brought the wine spring inn down.
So then I threw the Senate at him. The whole Senate.
I am the Senate. But anyway, continue. Yeah, so Lon gets a ton of points, and then Moraine gets even more points.
Yep. It was 1 kill.
It was a
And honestly, there
It was
was
a
one that was
Trolloc
really
thing.
iffy. I just couldn't give it.
You couldn't give what?
Okay. That 1 kill to Lan because it was like he was still fighting him and it died off screen. I'm sure he killed it, but I couldn't confirm
yeah,
it.
that's fair. No, that's totally
So-
fair.
So it sucks, but it happened.
Yeah,
It
And
happened.
then
it happens.
so
And
Moraine
thank
went
you for
from
fairness, Commissioner.
16.
Well, also, we knew the rules. We knew the rules,
You
and
know the
so do I.
rules. And so do
I understood the assignment. Go ahead.
16 to 35 Trolloc kills.
Oh,
35.
Now, thankfully, they were all magic,
Now let's
so
see how many-
mine were actually worth more each.
Yeah.
But
But I'm pretty sure Moraine also has the highest body count for innocents killed inadvertently.
wow,
So
not on screen. Not on screen.
Didn't see it.
it happens
happen.
on screen.
And she also had 4 more points.
yep,
She
there you
heated
go.
the bath and she healed Tam
Yep.
for a grand total of 179 points.
Oh, tastes good.
You think 179 points plus maybe another 30 is going to carry you through season 1?
It's possible.
All right, what is Daniel's
So-
point total here? Still
This right
less
here is
than
Daniel's
Josh's.
team.
Okay, there's Daniel's team.
145 points.
What does she
Yes.
get for killing the wine spring?
Negative points. bitch.
No!
Andrew rocking a solid 23 points.
Andrew with the horny, and every
Right.
single one of those points is
Andrew
horny.
with the horny
you're not wrong.
points.
But as you can
We
tell,
should just call him Horny Harris.
I'm
from now
playing
on.
the long con.
So, and then Josh had 1 person on the board, just 1.
and it's still the highest.
Still.
point total.
Just cleans up.
It's okay. I drastically catch up in episode 2, so we're okay.
Oh,
Fuck you. Fuck your head and the neck it riding on.
okay, now we go to episode 2. So let's do this. Let's do the same order. Smack. What is a standout
Let's
scene?
pull the scoreboard off.
Oh, we'll pull the
Yes,
scoreboard off here.
So that way, in case Smack is doing any other stuff, it's still a surprise for everybody else.
Indeed.
You know, barring what you need.
Sure.
And I'm actually going to scoot past Daniel because
When
my
you-
cup runneth empty.
Oh, that's
You're
a bad
running.
Look,
thing.
okay, I'm at the bottom of the leaderboard. I get to do a
Oh.
walk.
Oh, he's going to do a walk of shame. That is a good
There's
point.
no
Remember, there is a giveaway going on
Yes,
right
if you have
now.
not yet entered, do it.
Please enter. We got 20 people here, and only a handful of people have entered. And there's 20 minutes left on that giveaway, so
we're more
jump
than
in on
halfway
that.
through.
So, Smack, episode 2, standout scene.
The opening scene
Okay.
with
White
Valda.
cloaks.
Basically, anytime Valda was on screen, he stole the scene.
You know what? You're not wrong. Like, that dude is creepy AF. Like, oh, scary. Not okay.
Like, so amazing. Like, he just, you wanted to hate him from the start. And that's what you were supposed to do. So,
No, it's true. Like, and I agree with you.
He
and
starts by eating a bird.
Like-
Fuck this guy.
so one of the things that I was just going to point out to that credit is you have a contrast in opening scenes. In the opening scene of the first episode, Leandrin is saying, "It's a gift. We're ending your suffering." And then in the opening scene in the second episode, Valda is caressing the chin of an Aes Sedai being burned at the stake and says, "Aes Sedai understand better than most that sometimes brutality is the only
that's the
path to
contrast.
mercy." And it was just, like I'm getting chills. Just
I didn't notice it
thinking
on the
about
first watch, but
Yeah.
I noticed it on the second. They cut off both of her hands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
notice that.
They got
No.
both of her hands.
Well, you needed to, because of course to actually hold an Aes Sedai without a channeler, you've got to get rid of their somatic
And
abilities to channel, because they are making a thing. I mean, it's definitely a thing in the books as well.
yeah.
But they're making a thing in the television show that hand motions are very important.
At least for the Aes Sedai.
At least,
So-
yes. Sorry, so far channel.
So
Which so far has only been.
I'm
Aes
just
Sedai. But no,
saying
you're-
the name.
Yes.
and it's so hard to
I won't
pick
tell you
a standout
who is the
scene.
isekai overpowered heroes.
So it's so
Who
difficult to
are, not
choose
who is.
a standout scene because of how amazing they've written this. But I too have a scene including Valda when they meet the White Cloaks on the road, and he comes in and he starts like, and
Did you just size my breath?
Lan looks at
I can
Moraine,
sense you two.
looks
It's
at him,
fine.
and he's like, "I'm from the borderlands where men know how to keep their hands to themselves or lose them."
Lest they lose.
And I was just
I'm
like, oh. And then Valda's like, "Oh yeah, you would know,
I'm not gonna lie.
wouldn't you?"
When he said that, I felt my dick move.
Like,
Dude,
it was
anytime
amazing.
Daniel
It was
Petty
amazing.
Was on screen, my dick was moving.
So
We're
that's
checking out points for calling the
so
new
good.
sword form. Lands buns cross the hot pass.
Daniel, Andrew. What are your standout scenes for episode 2?
Go ahead, Daniel, because I got to think.
They're so good.
Because it starts with Land catching back up to them, and it ends with the yeetening.
Yeetening.
Yes, it ends with the evening.
I love that. That's great. The yeetening.
You know what? You know what I thought
have one.
I felt was a standout scene, and we actually talked about it a little bit earlier. Is and I'm going to talk about a difference in the book really quick here. In the books, Moraine is highly conscious when they go to Shadar Logoth.
Sure.
And she instructs and lectures these children she is traveling with on the ways of Shadar Logoth. And it is an extremely obvious set of rules that they need to follow while they're there. In the show, and then, of course, we all know that Matt then breaks those rules because he's a cunt. Then, in the show, we have Moraine is actually unconscious when they arrive at Shadar Logoth, and Lan has a single throwaway line about the rules of Shadar Logoth, and you immediately understand why Matt, who is a trickster, who doesn't fucking want to listen to Lan, who absolutely has, goes to the beat of his own drum, all of that, immediately goes out and breaks the fucking rules. And again, I liked both the change for the TV show in that way, and I thought that it was very impactful, at least for a book reader, if not just in general, of just how scary Shadar Logoth becomes and how easily it is to get in trouble there.
Yeah.
So I think the one that stood out to me, and it stood out more on a second watch. So after the group goes to sleep and does their best reverse Ozzy Osbourne impression. Anyway, so after that happens, and Rand just goes full assertive, like, "No, you're going to tell us everything." And she's like, "I don't have the patience. Do whatever you want. Go wherever." And Rand is like, it's kind of like an offhand snide comment, like, "Why don't I believe she would let that happen?" And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, because she wouldn't. And then as they all leave, it pans, and you see Lan sitting there. Watching, and I'm like, Yes.
They,
A great
They-
success.
they drive off like Moraine and Lan are like, yep, we're out. And then the kids are like, okay, well, I guess we got to pack up and go too. And yeah, Lan stands right there like,
I mean,
I'm making sure
there's so
y'all
many
motherfuckers
good
come.
notable scenes from,
Oh
from
yeah,
episode 2.
episode 2 was actually really.
Because you
And
have
I want to say real quick, none of us said weep for Manetheren because it is clearly the best scene, hands down. That doesn't need to be.
I
enjoyed
don't
it
think
much
we
more
all
when I
in.
said-
Oh,
No, I would agree.
Oh, okay.
I
You didn't see my
wept.
post.
Oh, I didn't see.
So this
I
morning,
wept.
this morning.
like a little bitch.
So I'm
Josh and I were crying so hard.
Oh yeah, and I'm just sitting there like. No, so I don't know why. I have this thing where I don't typically get that emotional with scenes. Like I don't know what it is. Because normally in the books I don't get emotional until book 3.
Sure.
Is when the first time I have a scene where I'm like, oh no.
I got something
And it was the
in my
same here. Like I wasn't like emotional when I read it,
Sure.
and I wasn't emotional when we watched it the first time. But this morning, by myself, I was rewatching. I got to rewatch episode 1 and 2 and the animated shorts ahead of them.
Nice.
And like about halfway through the story, I was like, nope.
You get back in there.
So 'cause we had the discussion last night about like, what is it about the scene that makes you feel that way, that causes that elicits that reaction? Because we're all differently programmed by our lives. And so like in my mind, I was like, yes, it's a very sad scene. It's a very impactful story. What is it that makes it that much higher for these guys than mine? They did a really good explanation. I understood it a lot more, and that might have played a role into I didn't shed a tear. I came very close. I pulled a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and just sucked it back.
Also, I just want to be super clear. We did have a talk about it last night and different things like that. And if you didn't cry during that scene, Josh and I are not trying to tell you that was wrong.
Oh yeah,
we definitely were not trying to say that about Andrew. I don't think he felt that from us yesterday.
It was a curious question. I was like, can you explain it to me? I want to understand.
Yeah, we're in no way telling anyone who didn't cry for that, oh, you're heartless or anything like that. You're not. Everyone has a very different experience with life. And whatever it was that you felt during that scene was the right way to feel. And if that was crying like a little bitch, that's fine. If it was not crying like a little bitch, that's also fine. If it was angry at the Trollocs for killing Manetheren, if it was, whatever, anything that you felt, that is right for you.
Absolutely.
Don't ever let anyone tell you how to feel, except for me right now telling you to not let anyone tell you how to feel.
I was more emotional, and I did shed tears when I watched the animated short for episode 2.
The animated short.
So I guess it was part of the visual that happened. But like
maybe
a quick call to some other scenes that I think were really notable. Egwene's like plea to Rand, I just want you to look at me and not hate me. I'm just like,
it was heartbreaking.
No.
But
yes.
See, the meeting with the White Cloaks and like Egwene literally just having like spoken with Moraine, and
you just lied to him.
Shit.
But you
No,
just
I
lied. And
didn't.
Egwene's just sitting there the whole time like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And she's like, you said you had a sister there. She's like, all others I die are my sisters. And Egwene at this point is like,
shit,
you're in politics, aren't you?
Okay, so
the senator from Kyrian has the floor.
I will say as a final point, and this is a difference from the books to the movies, the spray is a lot smaller than I thought it was. A lot smaller.
It's like a log.
It's a single piece of wood.
It's like only a log.
It's
like a whole. How do you captain a single piece of wood?
Also, I don't think that log talked about its aged grandmother once.
Not once.
Just saying.
The show is garbage and it sucks. Sorry. Okay.
Anyway, all right.
So Smack. Now that we have discussed this,
what you got?
I'm putting your spreadsheet back up.
So let's answer Brian's
there's a question
real quick.
This is a great thing.
shorts?
So okay,
you must be on a computer. You cannot actually get it through any other medium, seemingly. You definitely can't get it on mobile, and you can't get it on a game system.
No, you can get it on mobile.
Oh, you can get it on mobile.
You
as
just
long
can't.
as you're not casting.
You
it?
just can't cast
Oh,
it.
okay, fair enough.
So like while I was here, I got a Chromebook, and so it runs on the Chrome OS. I can watch it on that. So I have a 14-inch screen that I can watch it on. But I think it works on computers, it works on mobile, and it works on like any computer style thing you're using that uses a more mobile oriented OS. It looks like it's not set up to work with the Prime applications on at least PS4 or no PS5.
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah, whatever.
on gaming consoles and probably not smart TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have to be on a mobile device
So
for some reason.
So the way that you get to it is that you actually open up the episode and then go up
To X-ray.
to extras.
And
Like
then-
so you press up and it'll bring you to X-ray because that's what happens when you press
and
up.
then go to bonus
and then
content.
you go down and over to the down and over
Just get the
to
bonus
the
content.
bonus content, and then it'll have the shorten.
Yeah, if you don't see it, try another device.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a good.
I don't.
recommendation.
You have an iPhone, don't you?
I don't know. I have an Android.
Oh,
I would never reach
I don't-
out to Ed with an iPhone.
I mean, same, but
I would shoot myself in the face if I ever got an iPhone.
All right,
let's not say that on YouTube.
let's go. And
Anyway, moving on. But it seems to really love mobile OSs and dedicated PCs.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know why, but that seems to be
And I imagine
The way
it's something
Amazon
that
did it.
Amazon will hopefully work on correcting, because I'm sure they imagine a lot of people are going to be watching it on like their PS5. I keep looking at the TV like it's the webcam.
Right. Whatever.
we should have probably
Your
done that.
sight line.
Anyway,
is fine.
one last
I can't see
reminder:
anything,
enter the
so-
giveaway. We've
my
only
guitar?
got 8 minutes left in the giveaway, so if you want a chance to win this beautiful shiny,
do it.
you need to do
Yeah.
it. Okay,
It
Smack.
is a 30th anniversary edition, hardcover edition of The Eye of the World, and we won't write on the book. We have this little insert with our little Mahale emblems and the podcast thing that we'll
Just
sign
for the Mahale.
and send to you. We're going to try to laminate it. So,
No, we will eliminate it.
okay, we will
It's
eliminate
We're
it.
gonna laminate the shit out.
So if you're like, I don't really want this to be my bookmark for the book,
We're gonna
even though it's
laminate
not
it
really
so
set up as a
hard.
bookmark,
Right.
you know, you don't have to. But
okay,
You can do
Smack.
whatever you want with it. Yeah.
Let's tally some points.
Ready. Does anybody know the fun fact about episode 2?
No, what's the fun fact about episode 2?
Daniel had goose eggs.
What?
Wait.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I see that.
When?
No, I
Where?
had goose eggs. I had nothing. I had
Nothing.
0 points. I
Oh,
got 0 points in the entire episode.
really, I
Yeah.
got points for Rand when they hold hands and shot.
That's not.
I mean,
That's
That's
comforting. That's not flirting.
comforting. There we go.
oh,
But it was like, what's
commissioner's
the,
coming
no,
down
hold on.
hard on this.
Yeah.
Not
I
the
like that.
full intimacy, but the one right before it. What was that category?
Flirting.
Under romance?
Well, it was.
'Cause you have flirting, then there's another point
Then it was
category.
kissing,
and then there's...
embracing, kissing, embracing. Romantic.
Okay,
is
so
the-
it's kissing or embracing.
Doesn't
Okay,
count.
never mind.
All right, cool. I'm in. I'm okay with that.
SEO. The fun
So-
fact about episode 2 is that it came after episode 1.
I like,
You were not
I
wrong.
like the
Thou
cut of their
shalt-
jib.
Thou shalt count to 2 only,
only person
if we
to have-
immediately.
Thank you,
Every
Rob, brother.
teammate score in episode 1 had 0 points in episode 2.
Yeah, wow. That's insane.
All right, I'm gonna go refill
Did you
while we
say
tally
every
points.
team that scored?
Every
No,
person
just
on the
Daniel.
team
Every person on
Oh.
Daniel's team.
scored in episode 1.
Scored in episode 1 and did not in episode 2.
Well, I think
Yeah,
I know. I
that's
think I
intense.
know where my points came from, and I think it came only from Egwene and channeling.
You may be wrong about that, sir.
I think you're definitely wrong about that. She doesn't
Oh.
channel until 3.
You're right.
Yep, that's okay.
It's all right. We might have a nice surprise for you.
Yeah,
We might
indeed.
have a
I
nice
love
surprise for you.
surprises as long as they're good. Not surprise. You got positive on a test. You want it negative.
All right. 7 points. This go to Valda.
Ah,
You
yes.
burned and I said I.
Yeah. Wow.
Killing a channeler.
Yeah. Didn't even think about that.
Okay.
Do you know? This?
Now, Egwene had the magic practice. Gets the 2 points.
Oh, she does channel there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
Yeah, no,
about.
you're right. You're right. You're totally right.
The
I
first two
apologize.
are mine. The third one was yours and yours alone.
Indeed.
Moraine channeled 3 times.
Nice.
She sunk the barge.
Yep.
She healed the horses. And she did the magic lesson with Egwene.
Nice. Excellent. That's 6 points.
6 points.
Nice.
And the big point earner for episode 2, and the only points left, are for Matt Cawthon.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
All right.
Discovering a magic that had been lost.
Oh.
10 points.
Oh,
Damn, nice. Well done.
all right.
Matt's your big cash cow right now. Actually, no, Egwene actually has a lot of your points as well. Matt and Egwene. All right.
I mean, they're the only two I have that you've seen.
Yes.
Well, that you've seen more than just a couple seconds at the end of an episode.
Yeah, indeed. All right. I like it.
So,
All right.
And that's it. That's all. That was
not a lot of
episode 2.
points in episode 2.
Was a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
If
It seems like episode 1 was a lot of like
action,
a little bit of exposition and get people into watching it. Episode 2 is a more like explanation of the world. I mean, that's episode 3 with Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so like Smack,
That's
I'd be
gonna
interested to
10
hear,
points.
and
I'm
of course,
10 points.
and
Maybe
of course,
not in episode 3,
chat.
but
I want to hear what chat thinks, and Smack, I want to hear what you think about our first look outside of the teaser, or not the teaser trailer, outside of the 360 view of the trailer. Our first look at Balsamon. What did you think about our first look at Balls?
I loved it. I did love it. I thought it was great.
Rand needs to work on his gag reflex. He's gonna have to swallow a lot of hard shit.
Are you kidding?
Oh, did you just say that?
Are you kidding? Rand did a great job with that.
Hold
there
on.
was an entire bat in his throat, and he didn't puke once. Man, if I had something that was bat-sized and the person I was with didn't vomit on it, I'd be impressed.
Bat-sized.
Anyway, maybe we'll edit that out.
We can't. It's fine.
We're live!
That was the joke. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, that is episode 2. We are now moving on. Wait, hold on. What are the point totals out of curiosity?
Yeah, what are the point totals?
2?
Who's in the lead after episode
Daniel
2?
still has the same number of points.
Yeah, absolutely does. And, Andrew went from he went from 23.
Fuck off.
Okay. 35.
Nice.
And Josh went from 179
wins the race.
Right?
Josh went from 179 to 185.
Okay,
Oh, nice.
so episode 2 was a slower.
Oh, it was extremely. Yeah, there was.
It was.
I mean,
as far as
in-
point
In
accumulation.
the episode, the biggest point getter was Matt with 10 points, and for discovering the dagger.
Yeah.
And Valda came in second for killing a channeler with 7 points, which none of us had Valda, but still.
Sure.
I like how
Anyway.
it looks like they're having the questioners instead of having the red shepherd's crook. That instead they have the silver pauldron.
Yes. Yeah, I noticed that
Yeah.
too.
I kind of like that.
Cool.
It's a more obvious in your face kind of change.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that hopes that like maybe we see like a more ceremonial thing.
Yeah.
And they
that'd be
bring out like a
That'd be
red
great.
shepherd's crook.
cool. I
But
fucking love that.
we'll see.
All right, cool. So,
Does
Ball-
what was that?
Does Balls get a point for magicking into dreams?
no, the dark one doesn't even get a point. Fuck that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
There will be points. Okay, well, without getting into spoilers, other forms of magic will have to be included at some
Okay, yeah,
time.
that's fair.
At some point, yes,
Indeed.
that is factual.
All right,
If anybody
guys,
There
watching-
is 1 minute left on the giveaway. Do not miss your chance to win this beautiful book.
So go ahead and take the sheet down. And for those of you that are like, that you're listening to this or watching this either now or later on, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's so many more things that you guys should do points for. Like, this is the inaugural rendition. This is actively doing it. Obviously, we didn't know what we were going to see fully in the show.
Absolutely.
So things are going to adapt and change. And we're
Absolutely.
leaving those calls in the hands of our very capable commissioner.
Yes.
This is what Smack, this is a labor of love for Smack from what I can figure and how he's talked about it and how excited he is for it. And we love that you're doing it and we're super excited to participate in it. And it's super nice because I don't have to do math myself.
20 seconds. But yeah, no, I definitely think that there will probably be changes from this format
We'll announce
between
the winner at
season
the
1
end.
and season 2. And I'm looking forward to, if you guys have any feedback for us, for Smack, for anything, please contact the important party
Yeah.
and let them know. Because if you want to do it and you want to set it up differently, or you want to give your feedback on how to do it better, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah,
Can't
that's-
guarantee it'll get into our thing, but it is always it is always encouraged and appreciated,
Sure.
even if it doesn't end up making.
And that is another aspect of it is with Smack and everything. We're going to be like, it's all the core rules in a Google Doc are already available in our Discord. I think we need to pin them if we haven't. I probably didn't.
I don't think.
But whenever you run your own, you can make changes to how you're running the fantasy draft. That's the beauty of it. It's like open source coding.
For that, actually.
We probably should. We probably will make a channel for the fantasy draft. But you can make changes and count points differently because there is a metric that is really cool to compare, like how we're doing the fantasy draft versus how you're doing it, how you calculate points versus ours. You know, maybe you think that things that are off screen should be included, like off screen kills.
Maybe.
By all means,
sure. Whatever
if they're
you
easily
want to do.
verifiable.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, the contest is now done. Are we figuring out who won? Oh, do you have? Is it right there?
No, we will choose the winner right before we end the live stream.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're gonna pick the winner for the
whippersnapper.
So, Smack, you said you had a special prize for episode 2.
No,
Was it-
surprise. And that was Daniel's goose egg.
That was a goose egg. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, cool.
All right. So,
Oh, it's my birthday already.
following
Kidding.
the
Kind of.
It was my birthday a number of days ago.
following the tradition
Did I
Of-
say birthday message?
this particular format,
Okay.
Smack, do you have any standout scenes in episode 3?
My favorite standout scenes from episode 3.
You did know this question was coming.
You-
right?
I
I
mean,
did,
come on.
and I'm still debating between two, and they have the same two people in them.
Ah,
But I'm gonna say it's our last scene with Dana. Really, I really enjoyed her. I was kind of sad to see her go.
Good.
That's
Dana
Dana
was
without the Y, not the Dana with
Yeah,
the
we're
Y
talking the
from episode one.
barmaid Dana.
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 Depending on the accent.
Oh, it's Danny. How everybody wanted her to go.
So her last scene. So you're talking about
When she gets necked.
Whenever Tom just pops out, look at the flick of the wrist.
Yep.
I don't get Maureen's giggle, but I get Dana's dad.
That's right. Standout scene in episode 3 for me.
Oh, let him.
Did
you have any more to say?
I'm
Smack?
sorry. Yeah.
No. I mean, that whole. I just felt like she was great the whole time. I really did. I enjoyed her the entire time. The info dump I didn't really love because I'll have to see how that plays out. But I did love, the character and the skills and the power.
She was believable that I did not expect her to be a dark friend.
Yeah.
I didn't
Or know about them. Like,
Right?
That was so early to introduce that all dark friends everywhere
Know them.
presumably know.
Yes.
When somebody asked me like how I
Fuck.
reacted to that information, I'm gonna say just go back and watch Rand's face when she starts elaborating, and that's how I felt.
When she says we're waiting for Matt and Rand don't go in, and he's like, "How do you know our names?"
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that gets scary
It
real
does.
quick.
It absolutely does. It's the moment in in a number of horror films where the person just goes, "I never told you where I was from," or like whatever.
Yeah,
And you're just like, Fuck no! Like,
What about
Yeah.
Matt's threesome
Matt's
joke?
threesome joke.
Was
Yeah.
That's one thing
powerful,
that
dude.
I know Sarah tweeted about, but freaking Matt's one-liners are
Matt's
Dude,
one-liners
they're
is
so good.
on point. It makes me.
I heard the dragon
Yeah.
has wings, and amongst you lot, I don't see
I
a
don't
single
see it.
feather.
Yeah, you heard that from what's her face? What is the name? Jory Conger. She'd piss in your mouth and tell you it was raining.
Yeah.
I love that so much because that is such a familiar phrase for me. That sounds weird. Nobody's ever pissed in my mouth
Well,
and said
and-
it was raining. but-
And I also appreciated in episode 2, we're going back here for just a moment, we finally got the actual line that was in the read through, which is the
Yes.
she can throw fireballs with a hand.
So let's try and
try
say.
not to piss her off.
Have you
try
seen-
and say on the good side?
Stay on
I
a
think-
good side, that's right.
Was it Dragamount that tweeted out the picture? But it's the 3 frames where she's like, and it's
Oh, yeah.
and it's one of the 4 of you. Have you fully lost your mind? And then
she's
she's
just
Moraine
smiling.
smiling.
And she just laughs at him. Have you fully lost your
So
mind?
good.
And she just,
No,
yeah,
no, but
yeah,
one of,
kind of have.
well, no, shit. I think my read of that is that she's looking at him and being like, "No, but one of you will."
Well, see, my read of that was she was like, yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Right,
Trust
yeah.
me. I know what I'm saying.
Fucking sheep herder.
But yeah, Josh, notable scene.
Notable scenes in episode
Or if
3.
you had, like we said earlier, if you had to choose one, even though I fucking listed off a bunch of it,
So,
I do what I want.
probably my favorite was, so first off, Tom. I love Tom, right?
That's not a scene. That's a character.
As we discussed, they're sort of building up and playing on the character's darker facades. Tom is not the whimsical gleeman. He's more of the knavish, roguish bard.
But the reveal of the
And
patched cloak.
oh yeah, it was beautiful.
I felt something in
And
my
then
left testicle
when
for that
he comes out there, Matt, obviously finds his way to the Aiel in the cage, the dead Aiel in the cage. He notices the Aiel has a shiny on him.
He has shiny.
And wants
want
to
the
basically
click-clack.
steal it. Well, Tom comes in and says, and he even does the dagger. He secrets the dagger out of his hands. And Matt's like, oh, I got a dagger. And the important part of the interaction was when Tom says, I'm here to bury him. He did not die in battle. He was killed by cowards. And I'm here to make sure that he receives the respect he's due. And Matt goes, I'm just here to check his pockets for loose change.
Matt, pause. When he said, not many people outside of the Isle Waste have that hair color, and Matt goes,
Fuck.
Oh, yes.
and Matt's just like,
There was so much there, and it was so quick and so subtle. But it has a close-up of the red hair, and he noticed. He 100% noticed. But the interaction, he says, well, I'm going to, check his pockets for loose change. He's not using it anymore. And Tom goes,
What
okay.
you do with all dead is you search through their pockets.
And so Tom turns around.
I think Tom, honestly, he disapproves, but he understands because he says, he's like, we've all found ourselves in desperate situations. Turns around and goes, let me know when you're done.
And Matt is able to search his pockets.
So worldly. It was one of you that made the comment that made Tom so worldly.
It's the three things in that one line. And it's not my favorite scene, but it was definitely in the running for my most impactful scene. But he knows what an Aiel is by sight. He knows who the Aiel are in culture in so many ways. And that just shows an Aiel knowledge. Okay, great. Now, he also just understands the world in so many ways and how it works with, that line about we've all found ourselves in desperate situations. Do what you need to do. I'll be over here. Let me know when you're done. And then the last one is Dana is pretending in some ways, I think, to not know where they're from and give them the benefit of the doubt of them saying they're from Berlon. Tom walks up and goes, why are you out of the Two Rivers?
Yeah.
And Matt goes,
I didn't say. Well, and there's a
What makes you think I'm from the Two Rivers?
Another worldly thing.
Oh, it's such a good clapback. He's like, what makes you think I'm from the Two Rivers? And he's like, oh, the accent, the dress, the asinine attitude. And I'm like,
the stubborn piece of
right,
shit.
Right.
Nobody needs to look at Tom and say, may you find water and shade, because he's already found all the fucking shade.
Right? Which also, he did say that line. It was fucking great.
Anyway. So the interaction there, and then Tom turns his back, lets Matt do his thing, turns around and goes, okay, you did what you need to do. The least you can do is show this man a proper burial. And basically says, now you're going to help me bury him. And Tom,
I will kill you if you don't.
There's just rob the dead.
There's a beautiful mix there with Tom of pragmatic,
yes,
merciful, and honorific.
Yes.
Tom is a beautiful character.
He's very
absolutely amazing. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
What's yours?
So my scene that I was
like going last.
Sure.
It's the only time I can finish last.
Because you're such a nice guy.
I'm such a nice guy.
No, he just said he wasn't a nice guy. Nice guys always finish.
I'm a nice guy on the podcast, but I'm an asshole.
There you go.
So my standout scene from that was from episode 3 is actually wait, was Perrin and the Wolf in episode 2?
Yes. You need to watch it again.
Was Perrin and the Wolf in episode 2, or was it 3?
Whenever the wolves show up?
Yeah.
That was episode 2.
That was
Yeah.
episode 2. Okay. No, I really loved.
They do show up in 3, but
Yeah, sorry, they definitely
Very
show
different.
up in 3.
they're not. There's a wolf licking my boot.
Right. No, my standout scene is when Perrin and Egwene are running from the wolves, basically, and they light a fire to avoid them. And both the desperation of Perrin, because I think that even at that point, he truly does know that he has nothing to fear from the wolves.
Oh, he sounds so
But
desperate.
he's also so scared of not having anything to fear from the wolves.
He's so
It's
desperate.
so desperate, and it's so
I'm
like
sorry,
real.
Egwene. I'll get it. I promise.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
He's going so
yep.
quickly. And again, I there's just a way that these actors are portraying it in the way that Marcus Rutherford just has that in the thing, and then the way that he looks at Egwene afterwards when he says, "Was that you or me?" And he's so afraid of her, but he also will still just kind of love her forever because they grew up together. They're such close friends, all of that. And just the again, Perrin is already just being so set up to be afraid of everything, but also not have the luxury of being afraid of anything.
Yeah.
And it's really well done. And I'm truly impressed with Marcus Rutherford's portrayal of just his ability
He's
to
amazing.
show so much on his face and through his lines of what's going on. Because I know that I know more because I've read the books and things like that. I know that I'm taking more out of this than is necessarily in the scene itself. But again, Perrin has already had the scene with the wolf. And he looks so scared of them the first time, and then he isn't because they help him.
Yeah.
He literally goes from "I'm about to die," and you can see the facial expression change to
What
"The fuck is going on?"
And so again, I think that there really is a fear of why am I being helped by these wolves? Why is this okay? Why are they not scary? Kind of thing. But yeah, so anyway, Perrin is just, I think that Perrin and Egwene are going to be a really great interaction, and I'm looking forward to more of that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So what's your standouts? And if it's not the second sighting of Balsamon, gonna have- problem.
that actually is it.
because that's why I said that, because I knew that's where he was going.
So what's your favorite scene, and why is it the
My
second
number
time?
My number two. Our number 2 surprising scene may surprise you. But I'll talk about the first one first.
Top 10 scenes from episode 3.
And
number
I'm
6, you won't see come.
And I'm only going to talk about the second one because I've been very vocal about my dislike of the character.
Hate.
And I'm not even going to go that deep into it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I can't without spoiling shit.
Yes.
But yes, like the second dream that we get to see, and which leads me to believe that we are going to see a third dream, and it is going to be from Matt's perspective. And I hope and pray it is the just drink the wine. I really hope that's it. But the scene with Perrin wandering through the forge looking for Lila, and the flash of lightning illuminating or revealing Balsamon in the window, and you're like, yeah, that's pretty spooky. That's on point for a horror point. And then there's a brief flash where Balsamon is Perrin, and I think I needed to change my pants.
I definitely needed to change my pants.
I need to actually you. Just for a second. You're totally right about everything, but it wasn't through a forest.
Then why are you actually?
It was at his house. He walks out, or he gets out of his bed.
Yeah, well, their house was married with. I didn't say forest. I said forge.
Forge. I'm sorry, I heard forge.
Well,
I apologize.
actually, what
I
he
don't
said
need to
was,
actually him at all because he got it 100% right.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Fuck
I
me.
am going to go now.
At Perrin's forge.
Yes.
But then there's like the haunting element, the disgusting, gory element of the wolf gnawing
At exactly
At
the
Lila.
wound that he gave her.
Yeah.
It's so.
And then she turns around with those milky, dead eyes. And I know. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, so it's on point for those of you that have read the series or have been spoiled on Balsamon. It fits the metric. Is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's so.
But
anyway.
it's so good. My second one that I thought was like going to be an option in case one of you picked that dream was the introduction to the Tinkers,
nice. Yeah,
and it actually was going to be because of Aram.
yeah. Fuck that guy.
And it's not one that I can talk about more without spoiling things further on.
Indeed. But yeah, no, it's man, episode 3 was really good. I still think that of the episodes, episode 2 was my favorite, even though it got me 0 points. But yeah, anyway. So speaking of points,
we're not going to ask if you have points ready, Smack, because we know you do, because you're on top of this shit, unlike us.
All right, Smack. So let's get into points then.
Bring in the spreadsheet.
Episode numero 3.
All right. I'll start with the ones that aren't on anybody's team.
Okay.
Which we'll start with Karina Sedai, who we did see at the very last 2 seconds of the episode.
Correct.
Holding a shield on Logain.
Correct.
So 2 points for her.
Nice.
And then probably the saddest one, Dana flirts her butt off with everybody, gets 10 points for flirting, and then
Come and get
Loses
your girl.
all of her points.
She about to flirt.
loses almost all of them at the last 5 minutes of the episode
Because she died.
because she dies.
She loses a fight with Tom that she doesn't know she's in a fight with.
No, I mean, killed is a category.
Yeah, no.
Losing a fight's -2. Getting
No,
killed by
fair
a normal is -7.
She done been deaded.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So actually, out of curiosity, Smack, if you get into a fight with someone and lose the fight and it means that you die because it's a fight to the death, that's just -7 points. It's not
That's just a kill. That's just a kill.
Okay, cool. I thought so.
And there've been some where I've not lost a fight, because you could argue that Tam lost a fight in episode 1.
Fair.
So, fun fact on that note, to the guys, when that scene happened, I literally looked and I was like, so that Trolloc is now technically a Blade Master?
The Trolloc is a
Because there was a witness, and he defeated a Blade Master.
yeah.
But you can make the argument he didn't.
But
because
then
Tam-
Rand is a Blade Master because then Rand killed the Blade Master.
with a witness.
With a witness.
All right, so we got it. Episode 1.
So the
Rand
sword
versus
belongs
Blade.
to him. All right, cool. We're good.
Oh
Rand
my
is
God.
Blade Master.
It's like the fucking Elder One. Get out of
Confirmed.
It is.
here.
Everything has come full circle because it's like a circle.
Because it's like a
Or a
a
wheel,
wheel, if you will.
if you will.
I do love how
Wheel
you actually
feature?
got to see, like, I think it was Tam that called it, like, or no, it was Rand that said, like, actually called it the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I was like, at the time, I was like, they said the
He
name
said
of the
the
show.
Roll credits.
I
Sorry.
love it when they say the name of the movie in the movie. That's why I need to become Superman 7.
Sorry, Smack. Go ahead.
Hey, good. Alana got 2 points, holding a shield on Logain,
Nice.
just like Carrie Ann did.
So you're on the board with your characters.
Yep,
No,
Josh's
you have
characters
Alana.
have made
No,
a
you have
difference.
Alana and her 2 orders.
Yeah,
Yes, he
your
does.
board
Yeah,
is
it's
like
him. Yeah.
Moraine and Alana, and that's
Yeah,
about it.
that's it.
Now, Egwene gets 2 points for the fire.
Yes. Yes, she does. Even though we don't know which one of them it was.
We don't know, but we still know that she used fire, or that
Yeah.
she was channeling.
She
That's-
was. And that's what
And
you know.
Aaron did look at her. Was that you or me?
Yeah, no,
she was like,
I mean, to be fair,
to be
to be fair.
the fire did start in the middle of the kindling, not on the outskirts or on the top surface like it normally would from throwing the little sparks that Perrin was.
Okay.
It is
so
still possible, but I don't know.
this is one of the things. This is one of the things that bothers
I'm
me.
pulling from Boy Scout
And it's not.
knowledge,
This
so.
is not about the Wheel of Time. This is about TV
Movie
shows and movies in general. When they're trying to do a fire with flint and steel, and they're always like, oh, I'm going to put my fire down here in kindling, and then they go,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not working.
It's got to be right on it.
It's not working. Well, not only that, but usually you shave
Oh, yeah, you shave some
flint off, and then you spark, and you're like right in that shit. But in the movies and TV, they're always like, Why isn't it working?
But the tree and mound they were behind was fucking incredible because before, windy as fuck.
Yeah.
Suddenly, behind the tree and mound, 0 wind. And I'm like, that's not typically how that works.
Not typically.
Not even the breeze.
Not even the breeze.
There was not even a fart from the outside.
All right, so Gawain gets 2 points for the fire.
Okay.
Matt comes in with 4 for flirting with Gawain, or for flirting with Dana, or
Nice.
or however you want to say it.
I was worried about that one.
It was 2 separate times.
Well, we were talking a little earlier about whether it was
Whether it
where it
fell
was
under mutual.
reciprocal flirting, because she does seem to acquiesce to him near the end of their conversation, but at first she's like, the fuck out of here.
I'm more skilled at laying on them.
Right?
Oh, fucking smooth, bitch.
Right?
I mean, if
Anybody
there were
know
questions at that
no
point,
horses?
it got pretty smoothed out by the time she said, I was kind of hoping you'd stick around. It's kind of hard to find somebody that can string a full sentence together.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's why I said she does acquiesce to his flirting.
Well, and he does make the 3-way joke, which is a flirting.
Also, I also will
It
throw
wasn't
out
whether or
there
not
that-
Matt flirted or not. It was
It
whether
was
or not they
Dana.
met the metric for the point.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, 4
Anyway.
points for flirting. 2 points for flinching.
4 points for Gryffindor.
And Rand, I actually had him doing a little bit of flirting at one point.
little?
Because he flirted with Dana a little bit. He was like, you know what? Egwene dumped my ass.
He was
And
like,
here's
I'm
this
on the rebound.
Hot
with this
lady.
Hot
What's up,
septum
rebound girl?
piercing lady.
What's up, rebound girl?
Yeah.
He was not.
And
like
then he broke
But
the
I
door
like
down with magic.
Yes! 2 points.
that. There it is. Got the door.
That dodo.
That's not even like any sort of like potential spoiler because she's like, that's Ironwood.
Yeah, no.
Not 3 men.
You can't do it.
Not 3 men your size could take it down.
And he's like,
watch me.
watch.
I mean, if you look, the hit before it goes, it's like the whole wall moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which I like how they have taken an amalgamated 4 kings
Yes.
into that scene.
Yes. Indeed. I loved it.
Okay.
Tom comes in with 5, obviously. The only one I'm missing is Nynaeve.
You have Tom?
Me? I don't think so. I thought it was-
Who?
Nynaeve, she did some healing, but it was not magical healing.
Do you have
Yeah,
Tom?
no, it's
No,
he's
but she
not
did some
worrying
Trolloc
Tom
killing.
And then Alana and her workers. That's right.
In episode 3,
Yup.
Sorry, who does what? I was.
Nynaeve does Trolloc killing in episode 3.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, that's when they showed the flashback of how she survived.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
exactly.
That's right.
That's why in my head at some point when Nynaeve was getting no points earlier, I was like, wait, but she does that. But then you don't see it until episode
Which kind of
and
flashes
that's
back.
what matters. Because chronologically, this is happening during other parts we're seeing.
on that
but
scene-
in the episodes,
Right.
you
On
only
that
see
scene,
it.
I just love it's a momentary break in Land's stoic face because for a split moment he shows true surprise.
Right.
He's like, "Oh fuck!" I mean,
Well,
What's
not only that, but he
this?
says straight
a
up.
warder cut off his guard.
Oh.
talking about the end of episode 2.
Yes, that is the end of episode.
The end of episode 2 is a standout scene
It is.
because Nynaeve shows again, just how badass she is, and she puts the Trolloc knife,
That's a
to
scarier fucking
Land's neck and
Yes.
says, "If you don't tell me where my friends are, I will fucking."
If you
end
could like tell me who my friends are, that'd be great. Like,
But
tell
then
me not
I
gonna
love-
tell me anything. I'm gonna slit your fucking throat, bitch.
I love also that she's actually, Land stands up. He's like, "Yeah, you're not actually gonna do anything to me," and she goes, "Motherfucker!"
He's
Like,
like,
she
"Oh."
goes for him.
I love
And
how
he
he's
goes,
like
"You
nonchalant.
actually tried to kill me."
No,
and,
he's
then,
like he's just monitoring. He's like, "Oh, you actually tried to kill me."
and then he just
And
like,
then-
I mean,
The next time we
he just disarms her.
the next time we see her is Nynaeve's intro to
she's
bondage.
tied up. She's like,
harder, Dowdy.
She's so badass. Even there's like, you're not in a position to be making demands. It's a threat. I'm like,
I mean,
Speaking of,
anyway.
speaking of,
that means she lost a fight.
Oh yeah.
That's not a fight. That's not a. All right.
So wait, hold on.
Shit.
Hold on. Does that mean that Daniel both has the first goose egg for the bracket, but also has the first negative point?
Yeah.
Well, no.
He also has the first bingo.
Yes and no, because I do absolutely have the first negatives. But if she lost a fight, that means Lan won, which means that I actually get 0 points because Lan gets 2 points and Nynaeve gets -2, and I have both.
I'm not saying whether you lose points, but it is the first...
do have the first negative, but I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. We haven't finished the points. There might be other negatives. But as of the current point.
No, there's nothing left. And there were other negatives potentially, but nothing. That was the first negative points. It was Daniel. First that anybody got officially.
So nicely done, Daniel.
At least when you got a negative, it was immediately offset by a positive.
No, exactly. Oh boy.
It wasn't a fight, it was foreplay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I should get just multiple points for the flirting for both of them, not negative points for them.
Well, if there's one thing we know, like, again,
I mean, it would be hilarious if it was you got points from both of them. Like, this is their foreplay.
The chemistry in the
Holy
show.
shit, he's good with the rope. All right, I'm down. Let's go.
The chemistry in the show is one thing we've noted again and again and again. Yes, there are changes to the story. Yes, there are changes to blah, blah, blah. Stop just for 2 seconds.
It's not like there were 2 years preparing you for the video, for the show to be different, like, not entirely different, but different significantly from the books.
Lan shows genuine, like, impressed and surprised that not only did Nynaeve actually track him and get the jump on him, but then she actually, without hesitation, tried to end him, which turned out to be a foolish thing because he's Lan. Stop.
Well, what she did was she let him stand up. That was where she felt.
That's where she
it's
fucked up.
Fortunate for the fact that we need Lan.
She also like it was just an like the body chemistry there.
You just have a fucking seizure.
Lan said all of that without speaking a word.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel like
he feels like
get the wine.
Do you smell burnt toast?
Listen, leave them alone. Okay, they didn't do anything. It's okay. They're fine. They're fine.
Hey,
hi.
It's a gift, really.
Oh Jesus!
You should be thankful.
All right, so
that's so.
I think this is a good opportunity.
Scary.
We've now gone through all of the points.
That is all the points. From
that is all the points
right?
from episode 3. And before we get into totals, I do want to ask a question of our commissioner. I do not remember if we went over this originally. In our first live stream talking about all the points and whatnot. Do you take cases being made for additional points?
Absolutely.
If that makes sense. You do what?
Absolutely.
Man, how many cockroaches do you have under your desk?
So I have one thing, because again, so far you've been an amazing, I mean, and even with or without this, you've been an amazing commissioner. Please know that already. But Nynaeve has already revealed in some ways that she can channel. Now, again, it's not as obvious as the Moraine and Egwene talking and doing the channeling and whatnot. And we know as book readers that Nynaeve actually inadvertently or unintentionally or whatever you want to call it uses magic or uses the one power to make things better for people. In episode 3, she heals Moraine with herbs.
This is true.
But does she use any channeling in it? Again, in the show, we don't see the little wisps of white. We absolutely don't. But I think that should count as a 2-pointer for using magic, because I think she does.
So this helps your points. I think if we include that, because it's predicated on book knowledge, we then have to include what Rand does with Bella.
No.
But that's off screen.
But it's completely off screen. That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Again, I agree with that statement, 100%. But it is also completely off screen in the show.
Brother Dan has just pointed out that all of us are together, and that is actually true.
That's true, yeah.
We did come together.
This is really good Photoshop. Don't let them
specifically to watch The Wheel of Time.
We did.
It dropped on Thursday night. Now, I had seen the first 2 from the screener. These gentlemen had not seen it yet. It dropped on Thursday night. Both of them got here Thursday afternoon-ish. And we sat here Thursday evening, Friday morning, all day Friday going, no Twitter. We're going to even stay out of our Discord for a little bit. No social media.
Touch.
We're going to leave our phones at home and go out to the mall. And we're going to, like, it was unreal. Like, we had the most difficult time.
It was so
and then
bad.
when it finally came time, we had food. We had a whole feast. We had smoked brisket. We had
all
smoked
the
mac and
drinks.
cheese.
So good.
All the drinks. We even did the
By the-
Tanchico sunrise.
Yeah, so
Sunset.
Sunset.
Yeah.
Sunset.
I'm
Tanchico
blanking on the
sunset.
name. Who submitted the Tanchico Sunset?
No, it was the sunrise because it's the
Well, that's what I thought.
yeah.
Who-
No,
but
you were.
who
It's the
submitted it?
sunrise.
Who submitted the Tanchico sunrise?
Oh,
Go into our
fuck.
Google Drive. Find
Suns-
out.
I'm going to go right now.
Because
I
I'm
got it.
bad
I got
with
it. No,
names.
you continue your point, Josh.
Okay,
You
sorry.
talk.
I was
You
just
were
going to say.
talking.
I was just going to say that it was. This is a thing that we love to do, and if there's an excuse to get together, we're going to do it, and it's
Kinda.
amazing. And
Most of the
and
time.
this has been a super fun thing. We had our Morshadi, our
it
fact
super
checker,
helps.
Miguel
It is
Peel.
the Tanchico
It super helps.
sunset. I was fucking A.
Stop
It's
questioning
the
yourself.
Tanchico sunset.
it super helps whenever our amazing and illustrious sponsor,
The
It's
crystal barista.
hey, Andrew, how would you like to fly out here? I've
On
got
points.
it covered. And we're just like, I mean, I can't look a gift horse in the mouth. Why would I say no?
Also, it was submitted to us by Skeeter.
Skeeter.
Skeeter was the one who did it. And I just want to remind us.
Brother Dan almost joined us. Brother Dan, you're welcome.
Yeah, jump in.
You're always
By all
welcome.
means, come on in. We'll talk.
No, the other thing that I just want to remind us of real quick is the story and inspiration of the Tanchico Sunset, which is after a long day of inciting riots, battling dark friends and Forsaken, and generally doing your best to save the world. What better way to unwind than to bask in the setting sun on the beaches of Tanchico
Oh, man,
with a
you're bad
refreshing
mouth hungry.
beverage. All right, our commissioner has something to say. Come on.
Well,
Go, Commissioner. Go, Commish.
in response to your question, Daniel,
Oh, yeah, we asked him.
Yes,
He asked the
I did.
I would say yes. My only reservations is when she does use the power, her works extremely well. And she said that it didn't work as good as it should have. And she never had.
He did.
Well, no, she said
Well, no.
she never,
No, she said that it doesn't
never
because
encountered
of the
trollic
poison.
poison before,
Yeah.
and it wasn't working like it was supposed to.
Well, yeah, but she's talking about her herbs. She's saying that her herbs aren't working as well because of
Which would imply she didn't
implies
change
Which
she didn't.
implies no magic use.
Not in the same manner that she did in the books.
Sorry.
However,
Fair enough. No, I take
if-
that.
If
So, now,
I
do have
do
a
say that, she should have been dead, and we don't know how you're still alive, I will go back and give you those points.
No worries. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all good.
That's
Hey,
fair.
and again, that was my only case. As I said, I've completely agreed with your assessment on everything else. I have no other cases to make whatsoever. But
Now,
yeah.
something I do want to ask, and this is something that I'm going to propose the idea first to our commissioner.
Okay.
And then if he agrees with the idea decision, like who can make the decision, then we'll
Okay.
go with that. But if it's just a dumb idea, then whatever. But part of what I think is making the TV show in 3 episodes already so incredible are those very sincere, very, very severe emotional moments.
Okay.
I don't know a metric for quantifying them.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. If we can figure out a metric way to where like it's an emotional moment between characters with some kind of can you think of a way to make it a measurable metric of emotional moments between characters?
Measurable metric of
That was amazing, yeah.
Well done, sir.
yeah.
I don't know how you got through that.
I'm just drunk enough.
Oh, look. It's time for the
What's up?
drinky poo.
I've thought about it. I couldn't figure out a way to accurately
So to
gauge
everybody-
one to the other.
Because what I'm thinking about when I say this is I think the emotional moments between Rand and Egwene, and I'm not saying that for the points for Egwene because it also gives points to Daniel here for Rand. It doesn't help me win. It's because I think there's some credence that should be given to that. Now maybe maybe what we can do instead of like looking at a continuous metric, or it can be continuous, but a point-based metric, is that maybe our commissioner is emboldened with the power to take and per episode award extra points based off of who had the most emotional moments in that episode.
I had thought about doing a scene stealer bonus,
Valda would win for episode 2.
and I would have given it for Daisy for episode 1.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough.
but
And it would only be forward active from the decision, not like retroactive.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
oh,
Okay.
and one other thing I did want to say, and this is completely random, and I hope you guys don't hate me. When I pitched this to you guys, I was dead set on doing it. So I just want to say, if it wasn't you guys, Brother Dan was definitely on that short list of who I was going to pick.
Yep. No, I believe it. So, hey, Brother Dan, first and foremost, we love you. You're great. Also, suck it. We got it first.
Ouch. Wow.
He might not have been interested at all.
The
but
opinions of the Black Tower and the Black Tower
I
podcast.
do love the way of the Leaf,
Josh and Andrew were thinking it.
and they already have their own fantasy football league.
All
right, there you
okay,
go, there
fair
you
enough. All right, so we didn't actually get the full totals for the first 3 episodes because we cut in and started
So
doing other stuff.
let's throw
So
the,
throw the
let's
spreadsheet
back up. And I think that still means that Josh is winning by a relatively small margin.
Josh is winning by he's got 192.
Okay.
Daniel has 154.
seems very
or
confident for
156.
somebody whose main point gainer has been fucking unconscious.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Got
I
zero
would say
points.
that
That means
if
all of your
the
points-
maximum points.
All of your points came from the first episode. We're 3 and you haven't gained more other than like an additional 2 points for channeling.
6.
6?
You got 6 in episode 2 and 4 in
Yeah,
episode 3.
Moraine
Fair,
didn't,
all right,
three
fair
in
enough.
episode
Fair
three.
enough.
yeah, Moraine didn't
Yeah.
really do anything in episode. So it looks okay. So I've got
But episode 3
192.
gave him 2 points.
So
for
Josh-
Fine. Next episode is going to have a lot more.
So
games.
Josh is
Josh
at
gonna lick my corruption.
192. And then what are the next totals?
I'm at 150 something.
Daniel is at 158.
It's showing 158.
158.
And where's Andrew?
35.
41.
41. Hey. All right.
Okay, so at the end of it, now everybody needs to keep in mind this is not over. Okay,
Oh,
the
absolutely.
fat lady has not yet sung. We have 5 more episodes.
Well, and also, again, I do want to throw out there that we made these teams a month and a half ago, as has already been said a number of times. We also could not change anything about our teams from episode 1 into episode 2 into episode 3 because they were all dropping on the same day.
Well, no.
And therefore, it was not actually possible for us to make changes between episodes and have it be fair.
Yeah. Okay.
From
fair point.
here on out, we get episode by episode that we can make changes.
Well, I mean, we do. Yes.
Which means that after the episode 3, we get to drop people and pick up people on the bench. And as stated earlier, we had 42 people in that were possible for grabbing people for 5-person teams. From episode 3 into episode 4, God, we have what, like 200 people?
Yeah. So
Not really, because so many of those people
So-
don't actually matter. But like, there's a lot more characters that we know actors.
So all changes for this round were closed off. You could not make any changes after 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 14th of November.
Yes.
Because at the time, 2 of our folks were supposed to go see the first 2 episodes. Only one was unfortunately able to make it. It's fortunate you were able to make it.
Right. yeah,
Unfortunate that Daniel
right. Unfortunate.
wasn't.
Yes.
And so that's kind of how the match is going to be. Like, we can make changes to the schedule until midnight Eastern Standard Time, the day before the next episode comes out. So this means this coming Thursday.
I think to be nice to Smack, we should make it the day before. But yes, no, I agree with you that is completely true. Yes.
Well, I mean, so like the metric of making the change
Exactly.
on the chart is
so it's standard.
unplugging and plugging. Well, all right, yeah.
So this is
your decision: the day before the episode comes out, or the day before the day
Commissioner.
before.
Let's just do it the day. Like, I'll accept them up until the day before.
Okay, cool.
Because it's not like live time. Like we do the recaps later.
Fair
So
enough.
I have time.
That's true.
I have time.
Also, guys, maybe Smack can explain this a little bit better than me, but I've also done
I play Final Fantasy right there now on the
fantasy football or
Ooh.
baseball or basketball or whatever. I've definitely been into them. If you just want to drop a character off of your team and pick up a new character from the bench,
I don't like the feels.
you are absolutely more than welcome to do that as much as you want. Unless you want to drop a character and more than one person wants to pick them up. If that is true, then the commissioner has a system for, I think it's the person with the least points gets priority.
Right.
The person with the least points going into that episode gets priority for that drop and pick up. Between the three of us, we are allowed to trade characters as much as we want, as long as both parties are willing to trade. So that is how it works. And all of that stuff will need to be the commissioner by midnight the day before.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you guys
based off of Eastern?
Someone brought up the theory that the man who was gentled by Leandra.
So this might be spoiler. So go ahead and click on banners.
Oh.
We're going to move into a bit more spoiler conversation.
Okay.
And there's one that says this episode contains full spoilers.
Okay, so this moment is full spoilers.
Okay.
So if you have not finished the entirety of the Wheel of Time book series, because obviously nobody has finished, even the writers team hasn't finished the show. If you have not finished the entirety of the Wheel of Time book series as written by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson, edited by Harriet McDougal, and with continuity done by me, we could go on forever. If you haven't finished the series, now is a good time to step away.
Grab yourself a drink and
If you care about being spoiled.
Yeah. If you entered our giveaway, we will. If we choose someone that is one that doesn't answer, we're going to take a 24-hour window, and we'll tweet out about it, that kind of stuff. So make sure you're following us on Twitter at Tower Podcast, and if you're in our Discord, we'll post it in there.
Anyway,
all right.
So Owen,
that's all done. Go ahead.
Owen is Tom's nephew, who is found to have been gifted with the ability to channel
the dragon's gift.
Who was given the dragon's gift.
I'll gift you a dragon.
And hey, that's a different show. That's the only taints.
I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting amped up for it.
Yeah, that's Black
the
Tower After
part
Dark.
of why Tom does not like Aes Sedai so much is because his nephew was gentled and subsequently executed, essentially,
because of
by Aes Sedai. Okay.
Ah.
So the theory presented was that in episode 1, the man who could channel, who was being chased down by the Red Aja, is Owen, who is Tom's nephew. Now,
again, timeline in the book doesn't make any sense, but this is not the book.
This is not the book.
So it totally could be.
It's plausible.
It could be a plot development for Tom to find out.
Well, yeah, and
Could
and
be.
if you cut out more gays, then it totally makes sense.
Also could be.
But
Fair
the
point.
reason that he gets in trouble with more gays
It's
is
an
because he
interesting
leaves
idea.
for his nephew and then doesn't make it. But anyway, that's
Okay.
very interesting theory. I like it.
So we'll go back. Now we're safe again.
Indeed.
And now that we've discussed this, we found out who's in charge and the points. I think maybe it's time to pick a winner.
I think you're right.
It's time to pick a wiener.
This winner will be chosen by Streamlabs. So we're going to pick a winner.
I'm gonna go
Put a D in
winner.
there.
I'm gonna pick a winner. I'm gonna click a button.
So again, this is the winner for it's the 30th anniversary hardcover copy of The Eye of the World, and we're going to throw in our laminated
autographs.
Signed by the Mahales themselves.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna click the button. Kronk, pull the lever. Mira Slewinski.
Nice.
You are the
Should be
winner.
in the chat. as well.
Yeah, it'll pop up.
It'll pop up. Yep, Mira Slewinski.
Nice. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mira.
Well done. Awesome.
Congrats.
We'll have to.
So, Mira,
you'll have to get us your information
Yeah,
so we can send.
so Mira,
us,
you
or we
need
can
to
send you that.
DM us
on Twitter, on Discord,
So wherever you're
Discord,
comfortable,
wherever you have the platform.
Yeah, if you send it stuff to Twitter, you'll get him. If you send it to Discord, you'll probably get him. And if you send it to Instagram, you'll get me.
If you send it to TikTok, you'll also get him.
That's also true.
So
and if you email it, it's a toss-up. You might get any one of the three of us.
Indeed.
But the point is,
the notification
we need your information to put this on here, and then we will, we'll put a little signature, a little thank you on there for it. We'll slide it in there. We'll pack it up nice and pretty for you so that you are able to enjoy such a thing.
Oh,
and then
we'll slide all three of us in you.
Oh, that's the after show. Keep having to say this to you guys.
But why though? I want the after show to be the now
do
show.
Do not include me with his sins.
Hey, you've said enough.
I mean, you're not wrong, but.
All right, guys. But yes, thank you very, very much for joining us. This has actually been super fun. I am looking so much forward to the rest of the season. Looking forward to the rest of the fantasy draft. We cannot thank you enough, Smack. This has been. We're glad that you're having fun because this is so enjoyable.
Hey, round of applause, everybody, for Smack. If you think Smack did a great job, like the video. Smack is great. Ashaman, salute. Ty Shar, Smack. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
I've been loving it. Thank you, guys. And real quick, Andrew will get first pick. If he wants to drop and add somebody, it will be immediately. All other ad drops will wait until the new episode, the day before the new episode.
Okay.
I will look Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Sweet.
Well, no, I'm just saying, just in case Andrew wants them, he's got first dibs.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
So
awesome.
It doesn't matter what you guys want. He's got first dibs.
Well, it does still matter what we want,
that.
but Andrew is more.
But Andrew's so Smack. Since this is kind of a double feature here with the WoT fantasy and with kind of covering the TV show, just sum up for us the TV show. Like, how are you liking it? Like, what's your overall review? What are your thoughts with it, real quick?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's just waiting so long. And if you didn't know there was going to be changes, if you weren't thinking that it was going to be adapted in some way, then you weren't really paying attention. So, I got a golf clap. That's awesome. No, I loved it. I loved it, man. And like I said,
in the closet right now.
Shit.
You have to know that it's not going to be the same.
Hey,
you have to love it for what it is. Or accept it for what it is. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. If you don't, that's your opinion, and it's your opinion. That's cool.
Yep.
But
I love you guys so much.
But I did love it, and I enjoyed it, man. And seeing all of these people that I've been reading about for 20 years, it's great. So,
excellent.
I got you.
Thank you, Smack.
Thank you, Smack. Thank you so much for putting this together for us. And if you guys like what you're seeing here, Smack has offered to host and commission a WoT fantasy. Now, of course, season 1 is closed. Haha, suckers. But if you want to jump in on season 2, jump into the Black Tower Podcast Discord and start talking with us about it. We are going to have a channel. We're going to have a WoT fantasy channel set up.
Yes.
That just needs to happen. That's going to
happen. We want to hear your thoughts. Like, what are some different ways? Because right now, season 1 is just a battle between the Mahales.
Yes.
But there have been thoughts tossed out about doing this in between, like you have a fantasy draft section, whatever it's called. Your team, like not the teams, but all the people participating in it.
Oh, a league.
A league. Yeah. So if you have a league where we take and pull in other, like maybe content creators or whoever, and then it's a battle between like Black Tower Podcast versus other different content creators.
Whoever else decides to jump in,
draft. So there
we
is
will
that
have call outs later because we are going to call you out. We've done it for Taste the Taint Challenge. We're going to do it for the WoT Fantasy Challenge. We're doing it because we have people we want in. But if you are a person that we don't challenge, that you're still welcome to join. We'd love to at least hear that you are interested, and we'll see what we can do.
And then worst case scenario, you run your own.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not closed to the Black Tower. This is not closed to anything like that. It is open as long as Smack deems it is welcome to be open, because this is his baby, his creation. And we're going to go in and we're going to coincide with an individual that created it.
Yeah, brother Dan, you did.
Uh-oh.
But
one last thing, because I just promised I would say it. Any challenges on flirts and critiques on flirts, go straight to Adelerna, because she's the one that helped me count it all. So it's all on her.
Those Aes Sedai always getting involved in everything.
That is an extremely important thing, is to have a girl and a boy both determine that it's a flirt.
Come and get you a girl. She did try to flirt.
All right.
Thank you so much, Smack. We really appreciate it. You're awesome, and we tremendously appreciate your contribution.
We absolutely do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for thanking us first.
Yeah.
Thinking of us first.
Thinking of us. Thinking
or thinking of us in whatever order we were, because we don't know exactly how many people you asked, but we are the first ones who said yes.
Well, you kind of do, but
right? Okay. Also, I just want to throw out there, this is an amazing thing, and I fucking love this. If you also have an idea for something along these lines, and you put together, even an outline, preferably a fully fleshed out thing, or at least as closest to it as it can get. I'm not saying that that's not preferable. But if you have a design and you have something that you really want to do, that you love and you're passionate about, and you think that we would be a match for that, ask us. As Smack can attest, and we literally just talked about. I mean, we're pretty open to different stuff, and sure, we won't be able to do everything every time.
We're open to new things.
But one of my mottos is there are a very, very, very small number of things that I won't try at least once, and I think that's probably true about my compatriots as well. But yeah, so ask us.
I didn't think I'd talk to you guys.
All right, hey Smack. Yeah. Thank you so much, Smack. We really appreciate you. We're gonna go ahead and let you go, get back to your evening or whatnot. But you're amazing. You're part of what makes the Black Tower as amazing as it is.
The sports commission is a very important piece of the Black Tower.
So, and thank you very much. We'll get that going. So, thank you so much, and have a great evening there.
We'll
see you, Smack. All right. So if you want other content creators to get involved, or just other people individual, I would love to see, there's so many possibilities you can go with it. I'm not even going to put the idea in anybody's head because it's so easy to do.
Right.
But if you have other content creators that you follow, that you watch, that you think, hey, this would be great if there was a league for all of you folks, or whoever you want in the league, go and ask them if they're interested in participating in something like that. And we are more than happy to provide the current rule book. And then obviously we'll announce whenever there are updates or changes or additions to the rule book. But it would be amiss of us to not take AMISS, because some people know other stuff. Anyway, it would be amiss of us to not do like we do with a lot of our episodes and finish this live stream off with some final thoughts talking about season 1, episodes 1 through 3 of the Wheel of Time TV show. And we're going to start with Daniel, because Danny boy, the pipes, they're calling.
The pipes are calling.
Thank you for that, Andrew.
You're welcome.
No, honestly, I put this in another video, and as he said, we do have a TikTok now, so go check that out.
At Black Tower Pod on TikTok.
Yes, at Black Tower Pod on TikTok.
At Black Tower Pod on TikTok?
At Black Tower Pod on TikTok.
On TikTok. At Black Tower Pod.
We'll work on getting a link on our website as well.
Yes, indeed.
BlackTowerPod.com.
At blacktowerpod.com.
But as I've said to these guys before, as I've talked to, this series is 30 years old. The first book came out in 1991. I started reading these books in 1999.
I was 6.
I was 8. It was.
Y'all
It
making
was
me feel
so
old, goddammit.
impactful. It was so
It's okay.
amazing. It
You
really hit extremely hard on so
I
many
only
different
graduated
things.
high school in '99.
And there was so much. There was so much lead up to this. I am not alone in being in love with these characters and doing this for years. And
How many people have been waiting for like 30 plus years for this? An immeasurable amount.
an immeasurable amount. How many people bought The Eye of the World? That's the answer. Like the day one buying of Eye of the World, those people have been waiting.
Yeah.
No, but especially from the world I come from and the sort of very production, media, silver screen heavy world that I have put myself into for many, many years, my brain absolutely imagines things like a movie, absolutely imagines things like a television show. And I have been imagining this television show since I was 8 years old. It's been 22 years. And this is absolutely not the show that I imagined in my head. This is absolutely not the visual that my imagination made for me as I was reading the books and imagining it as a television show.
What? This doesn't match
However-
what you imagined at 8 years old? How
Well,
dare you?
To be fair, it also doesn't
To be
match
fair.
what I imagined at 12 or 15 or
Makes you
18
feel any
or
better.
22 either. But
My dragon doesn't match what I imagined.
Heyo.
So,
however, as I said before, and as I will reiterate,
it's way bigger.
this is everything I want. This
I love
is
it.
everything that I'm looking for so far. The show is so impressive, and I have not been disappointed once yet. And I don't know whether that'll happen, but at the very least, it hasn't happened yet. And the Rafe came out and absolutely said that these actors are going to knock your socks off because they knocked our socks off in the auditions. The reason that we hired all of them was because they embody these fucking characters. And
Reason why we hired all of them.
yes, the reason
We
hired
personally.
them, yes. The reason that we were consulted and Rafe.
Hey guys, that's a great change idea, but let me run it by Black Tower
Right,
Podcast first.
yeah. No, he was so spot on. The portrayals of these characters, and in the end, in so many ways, that is what the Wheel of Time is the people in it. It's the characters that are. It's absolutely what I wanted. And
What
some
did
of
RJ
these
say?
characters
People
are making
change,
me.
cultures clash, cope.
Yep. But the way that these people are portraying these characters and the different things that are happening, I have been so impressed that I couldn't ask for more. That's my last thought. It was a long last thought, but that was my
No. It's good. It's difficult to sum it up.
Because I'm gonna listen, but
The
the dragon calls.
The dragon calls. So here's the deal. Like we have, among the three of us, we've had numerous discussions prior to the show coming out, and even like today, the day after we watched the show, about the expectations. Last week we
Our
had
last episode that came out.
last episode that came out, we had Critter XD on. Critter, who is absolutely a fantabulous human being. Go follow her on YouTube. Go follow her on TikTok. I mean, she's great. But we talked about managing your expectations.
Do you know we have a TikTok now?
Do we have a TikTok?
It's at Black Tower Pod on TikTok.
Oh my God, we have a TikTok. Okay, guys, we have a
Sorry.
TikTok.
Expectations.
This is news to me. Expectations. Translating the story. Okay, you've got the story. The story exists currently on the paper, on the page. We've read it, we know it, we love it, we've read it numerous times. Translating that story from the page to the screen is going to take effort, and there's going to be changes.
As Thanos says, I am inevitable.
We saw this with Lord of the Rings. We've seen this
And
with
as Rafe
Shannara
Jenkins
Chronicles.
And Sarah Nakamura said, well, I'm Iron Man. Sorry.
It's every single every single adaptation is going to be missing things from the book. And guys, that's just how it is.
Yes.
Okay.
And some of them are going to be more glaring, and some of them are going to be more minor. And
you can't read. You can't read. You can't watch a TV show, and if they bring in Perrin, okay. Let's just give an example here. Everybody's really, really concerned with the Perrin scene, and Layla Ibarra. She doesn't exist in the books, and in the TV show they've used Layla. They fridged her.
They did.
To give Perrin a reason to be afraid of the axe, to give Perrin a reason to not want to make weapons and be a lord, and they give him reasons to fear his animal instinct within inside. Because if it were a page-by-page recreation from the books, here's how it would look. Perrin would come on the scene, and it would pause. Perrin.
I bet you're wondering how I got here.
A large person, but he's very sensitive, and he's very afraid of hurting others because he's so super swole. So Perrin is soft, or tries to be, but sometimes he's not.
Well, and of course, again, in the first battle that Perrin's ever part of, you would have, boom, axe goes into Trolloc, and then it stops, and you freeze, and you hear Perrin's voice of, I like this too much. I really shouldn't be. I should be very.
I shouldn't be enjoying it.
I shouldn't be enjoying this at all. Like blah blah blah. And you can't do that.
It's not
the medium that they've chosen.
And now I'm not trying to say that I'm invalidating your feelings. If you don't like it, or if you think it's controversial or something like that.
Correct.
Brandon Sanderson himself said that there were going to be changes that were going to be controversial to the fandom.
Correct.
But that he believed in Rafe, he believed in Sarah, and he believed in the production team who was going to do a great job.
Yep.
And Matt Hatch from the Dusty Wheel observed that we're now re-experiencing the books for the first time.
Yep.
Because when the books were coming out, we would read the books and we would go, what the hell is going on here? And then we'd jump onto Tarvalon.net or Theoryland or Dragonmount or one of these things, and we'd go, what the hell is happening right now? And if you think there weren't controversial opinions and views back then, you're entirely wrong, because there were. People were not happy with how this is going. So it's another turning, okay? This is the books were the last time this happened. This is the full turning of the wheel, and this is the next time things have happened. As Cam alluded to.
Thank you.
The same thing happens again and again and again, but maybe we do it a little better this time. Okay? Yep. So manage your expectations. It's not the books. It's going to be a different beast. I'm personally, I am loving it. I think it is wonderful. I think taking on the task of adapting such a ginormous story into a TV format like this is a daunting task. And I think that they're doing the most amazing job possible with the task that's been given to them.
I will say that if by the end of episode 3, you have already written off the entirety of the series and said, I will never watch this, you are...
Bye.
Oh, yeah, but you are doing an incredible disservice to yourself. You're doing an incredible disservice to all the faith placed in Rafe and Sarah and the rest of the writing team. You haven't given the series long enough to show that it is sticking true. Because here's the thing. If you watched any of the IGN first, you understand that Rafe gets the series. And if Rafe gets the series, everybody gets the series in the show. Because ultimately,
Rafe's
it is Rafe. It is Rafe.
He's been reading.
It is Rafe going, that's not in line with the motive of the series. And what does Rafe say the motive, the underlying current of the series is balance. So he's going to balance turning something as all things should be.
And Sarah's
he's
there
going to balance things, like changes that need to happen to adapt it to the screen, changes that need to happen to do a ton of other things. Maybe Perrin needs an incredible motive at the beginning to orchestrate the massive character development that we see later on. Maybe it's something they decided. It's fine. As long as you acknowledge that it is different from the books, that it is a different turning of the story that we've grown to love. but it is no less valid, then you're fine. But ultimately, all we can ask is you to give it a chance. Now, there are certain things, I'm not going to go into them, that people already hate the series for, or the show for,
and
that are just incurable diseases that people have to come to their own terms with.
Yep.
If you fall in that category, I'm sorry. I hope the best for you.
Stop.
May you find water and shade in your next life.
Yes.
But
Really,
give it a chance.
sure.
Give it at least a season before you completely write off something. And
Also,
definitely,
And this is a good point in the chat right here. Sarah's job. Now she works very, very hard. She's incredibly busy, but as I understand it, and by all means, Sarah, please, if I'm oversimplifying this, please forgive me. But my understanding of Sarah's
come
role,
on and tell us what you do, because
we
we'd
would
love
love
to.
to.
Fucking
You're
hear
always
it.
welcome. You're an ashram.
her
Yeah,
role,
right.
her role as a member of the production team is literally to say that is not in line with the books.
Yes.
That is not
Not
That
to say that's
doesn't-
not what happens in the books, but not what's
not in line with the
books.
spirit of the
Yes.
story. When we're trying to progress of the story, and I think the most famous example was there was a brief, very brief discussion that Perrin would be talking to bears and not wolves, and Sarah was like,
No.
Yeah, and then the rest
No.
of and then Rafe was like, why did her saber just turn red?
her lightsaber is red, and then they were like, okay, wolves. Okay, cool.
It's been a long time since I killed a bad idea. The saber is justice.
It's
Oh.
and you know, and a lot of people are going to focus on changes that are not so good.
Sure.
But changes that are better,
the human
though?
mind is hardwired
Changes that are better.
for the next.
Perfect example: White Cloaks. White Cloaks actually being a threat to Aes Sedai is a good change.
So you mean the White Cloaks in the visual part in the TV show actually living up to their reputation in the
Actually
books?
being a threat.
Crazy.
This is
Weird.
in the books.
I don't know
White
why they do
Cloaks
it.
are essentially
Why-
mob bullies.
Well, how come we don't see the first scene with Eamon Valda being like Benny Hill music as they're walking around tripping over every like stick that's there?
Right. Also, I just want to say as well, and I know that I speak for the other two guys as well. The Black Tower is also, united on this. Look, if you don't like the show because you don't like the show, and it is not your cup of tea, and it's too dark or too light or whatever the case may be, and you have given it the old college try, and you're at the end of the current 3 episodes, and you're just like, no, but seriously, for this reason and this reason and this reason, personally, I cannot watch this show anymore, and I really just don't.
At
like it.
least have
That
reasons
is-
you can explain.
I was gonna say that is completely fine. Not every show needs to be your show. It's absolutely true. Now, if you don't like it because of reasons that are hard to justify, rethink yourself. Rethink your reasons. Make sure that there's actually good reasons. If you don't like it for good reasons, stop watching. And that's fine. You can still love the books. You can still love the content that other content creators are making. You can still love the extra stuff. You can still love the actors. You can still love all of this stuff without actually liking the show itself.
True.
And that is absolutely okay. So when we say give it a whole season, give it a this, give it a that, we are encouraging that. I'm not going to say that we're not. Andrew was absolutely right. Please give it a full season. Give it an entire amount of time to sit in your mouth and chew on it. A lot of people really didn't like Westworld partway through season 1,
Yes,
for
I
example.
did want to touch on that.
Because there are absolutely shows out there that you don't get it
Yep.
until you get to the end of the season, and then it all comes together and you're like, that was incredible. If you stop Inception halfway through, you have no fucking idea what's going on.
So,
But
this-
at the same time, if there's a reason that you can't finish the show or really, really don't like it as of now, as long as it's justifiable, you absolutely do you, and we still love you,
yeah,
and
so,
you can make that decision.
Yeah.
so this comment from Old Calf Trooper, which shout out
Thank
to
you
sir.
so much.
Thank you so much. And we'll be doing another Vets Discuss here really soon. Just got to get all this calmed down where I can get back and schedule it. But thank you so much. Yes, The show reviews on Rotten Tomato and on Amazon are being negative review bombed. They're being bombed by a group of people.
A group of people.
As well as
a group of people.
As well as a bunch of bots.
Yes.
So if you have watched a series and you enjoy the series, please go and give an honest review. We're not going to ask you to go and give a 5-star review.
Sure.
If you thought that it was worthy of a 4-star review, please give it. Be honest in your reviews.
Absolutely.
Don't be the shitbag that goes out and pays hundreds of dollars for bot accounts to progress your own generally ignorant agenda.
Well, and again, I even want to say, even if you thought the show was actually 1 star, you're more than welcome to go and give the show.
It is
3.5,
currently
right?
it is 47 at this point in time. It is 4,700 reviews, and it is at 3.5 stars.
Those are
actual comments on review, right?
I think that's star ratings. I think the reviews are usually less than the star ratings, but that's the people who have clicked on the.
No, 4,700
is it actual
global
reviews?
ratings.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. So as I said, if you actually legitimately think that the story deserves 1 star, that's fine. You can totally go and review it that way. But absolutely.
Yeah. When you find other reviews,
please do not go and pay bots to make yourself an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Your review is 1 review. Put it out there, make it count, but don't make it bullshit. Yeah. Don't make it bullshit for other people.
There's another metric there. If you're going and you're looking through the comments, whenever you mark comments like on Amazon Prime of this review was helpful, that helps the metrics. It brings those closer to the top.
Yes.
Because the thing is, the goal of these individuals that are taking and giving it negative reviews because they're like, oh, diversity.
For example.
Well, not only that, but let's talk.
Well,
I know. Go ahead. Sorry.
The goal of these people are to make the show seem so bad to people that haven't watched it or people that are on the fence as to where they never watch it. And that's where they're going for. They don't want other people to watch it because, I'm going to say it. They're so sad in their own life, they don't want anybody else to have joy in theirs. It's just like a bully in high school. They bully people normally because they're really unhappy in their life. And if you're doing this, if you're buying bots, if you're going to leave a 1-star review just because you're like, I can't believe they made Egwene a POC.
Rethink.
Get a personality, get a life, and get the fuck off of Amazon Prime. Anyway.
So
go back to 1980.
I'd like to throw out a thing.
Legitimate reason to give it a 1-star review. By all means, give it a 1-star review. But
just don't echo chamber.
Be honest with your review. Be honest with what you think. And whenever you find other reviews that you found helpful, whether you agree with them or not, by all means, mark them as helpful. Do the same thing on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Long and short, don't be a dick.
I've seen
short be excellent to each other.
And I've seen numerous reviews that have been like, Amazon ruined it in the first 30 seconds. And I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about Leandrin, who says this power is for women and women only. And
if that's what you think, you need to go back and reread
people stop right there and go, oh my God, it's so stupid. It's the producer. Leandrin is a dark friend. And I don't care if I just spoiled it for you. Leandrin is a dark friend, and no one likes her. And I don't mean I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, she's actually a dark friend.
Also, I want to throw out there is if you like Leandrin, stop it. Get some help.
But if you have the caveat like I do, I like Leandrin as a dark friend.
Well, sure, yeah. If you think she's well written, that's a different thing. If you actually like Leandrin and her personality, stop it.
Yeah.
Get some help.
Yeah. That's the ultimate thing. Don't be a dick. If you honestly and earnestly don't like the TV show, by all means, feel free to live.
Not everybody has to like it.
Yep.
That's just the way TV goes.
Yep.
But if you're one of those people that the second they announced part of the casting and your fucking white hood stood on end because you can't handle anything different than what you're dealing with, then fuck right off.
Yeah.
Because there's no place for you. There hasn't been a place for you for over 4 decades.
Yeah.
There's definitely not a place for you now. And I'm surprised you know how to work the internet with that antiquated
Go back to
ideology.
1941, you asshole.
Yeah, go back to before the internet. You should be sending Morse code reviews to Amazon still off of little stuff.
Morse code review. Stop.
Literally, if this is what
Leandrin.
if this
Stop.
is what you're doing,
PC. Stop.
fuck off. Like if you need bots to assert your beliefs to the front view,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. It's as simple as that. You're wrong.
You're wrong. Anyway.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. So I think we're all very clear on one point, and that is we enjoy the show. We understand the changes, and we understand that some
And we're
people
frat boys
are
that talk
not.
about beer
We're
for
talking.
23 minutes.
Hey, haters gonna hate.
I'm trying to make it more humorous.
And the thing is if you don't like the show, that's fine. It's cool. You don't have to. You're not required to. But even if you don't like the show, the books are still there. The books are unaltered.
Yeah.
And we will always find safe haven and sanctuary in the books.
Mm-hmm.
And so okay, so let's do this thing. Let's wrap this up. So we've got the WoT Fantasy League, we've got the WoT TV show. Daniel, give it your last thoughts. Just sum it all up.
I don't have to pee this time, so I won't walk out in the middle of y'all talking. Actually,
You know what? To be completely honest, I'm gonna bring this. Yes, Wheel of Time, but it's also life. I mean, Josh said it. Andrew has said it. I'm gonna reiterate, but again, life is about people. The Wheel of Time is about people. The times that things don't work in the Wheel of Time, the times that things don't work in real life, are when people don't give other people a chance. Give things a chance. Some people are going to hurt you because, in the immortal words of Tom Segura, some people suck. But that's it. It happens. But if you don't ever trust anybody, if you don't ever give people or a TV show or whatever a chance, you are doing yourself such a disservice. Just be excellent to each other and never be the person who ruins that trust for others. If everyone lives like that, whether it be a TV show on Amazon Prime or a friend who needs you right now, then the world will be a better place. Your life will be a better place. And, the TV show is going to be great. So there we go. The fucking Black Tower out. Mic drop. We're done.
We're done. That's all that needs to be said.
Flick this off the table.
Just Andrew.
I mean, it's one of those things in life where you have to look at it as it's not going to be exactly what anybody imagined.
Yep.
And the only people that have the ability to be fully prepared for it are the people that are producing the show.
Yep.
They know the changes that are coming, and they tried so hard to indicate some changes that were happening and changes that were to come. And honestly, Rafe and Sarah and the rest of the team did so much to try to prepare hardcore fans. And
they lubed us up nicely.
yeah. And still, here's the thing. If you're pissed about the show, Sarah and Rafe's DMs are not the place for you to go.
Absolutely not.
Because
not cool.
Because here's the thing. The people that do have success in talking with Sarah and Rafe, one, I'm shocked that their DMs are even remotely open.
Yeah.
Because if I was them, and as much as I want to already, DMs would be closed off. However, Sarah recognizes that she is one of the more accessible members of the production team that are putting this together. And she's been very involved with Twitter and the fandom and want to do this stuff. If nothing else, look at your own humanity and look at how human these people are.
Yeah, someone did.
And treat people as such. Just because you don't like the way that season 1, episode 1 goes in 30 fucking seconds, 1, doesn't mean you're right. 2, doesn't mean you need to fire off 60 DMs to Sarah or Rafe.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Why is that ever good? You wouldn't send 60 letters or emails to somebody. Why the fuck are you doing it on Twitter?
If you're doing that, you've already broken what we've already said. Just be excellent to each other.
Yeah. The thing is, give it a shot. And ultimately, if you don't like it, that's fine. Don't watch it. you don't have to go above and beyond to be a dick.
It's true.
You don't have to go above and beyond to be a Leandrin.
There it is.
That's the new one. Don't be a Leandrin.
But Josh,
Also, don't be an Elida. But
Guys,
we don't know that yet.
The Black
I
Tower,
mean, we do.
the Black Tower protects always. And the Black Tower is always here, and we will always protect the things that we love. And we love the Wheel of Time. We love the story of the Wheel of Time. We love the people of the Wheel of Time. And
we love you.
we recognize there's a lot of big changes here. There's a lot of things to swallow here that are not what we had expected.
Some of them are bat-sized.
But that's a good thing. We already know the story on the books. We don't want you to retell me the story on the books. I want a new excitement. I want new Wheel of Time content. I don't want you to just tell me what I already know. Because how many of us, okay, raise of hands, how many of us like it when someone says, you have to do that and that and that, and you're like, yeah, I know, I'm doing that. No, but you have to. Okay.
Notice no hands.
Exactly, guys. This
I can
is
ride this point with no handlebars.
I think they're doing a great job. I think they're doing the best job that they can with the extreme large amounts of content that they need to condense and build upon into a new medium. Okay. Be patient. Treat it as if it were your first read through and you didn't understand why we were doing these things, but you had to keep reading in order to make sure that you understood where the story was going.
Well, and also to piggyback off of that to something that I said way earlier.
Sorry.
Cringe.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Cringe.
Veteran cringe.
I know. I'm sorry.
Woo!
You guys
Old
have
Cap
told me
Trooper
about that.
understands
I'm
why.
sorry. I'm sorry. But
Don't be a Leandrin should be on a shirt.
it's
Speaking of shirts, Flickr and Flickr and Flickr and Flickr. This is on our website. If you go to blacktowerpod.com, go to our new creations by Jen, you can get that. And based on what I just saw, I think Don't Be a Leandrin
it's
is happening.
No,
That's
it's absolutely
that's
happening.
that's thing.
We're
That's
gonna work
thing
on
that's
it.
happening.
We are. But Josh just said something that reminded me of something that was said earlier, and I think is actually really important. Don't compare what happened in the books or your scale of what happened in the books to your scale of what's happening in the television show. If you actually, as stated, think that the television show is a 2 out of 10, that is fine. Think that way. And don't like the choice made. If you think that the Wheel of Time television show is a 7 out of 10, but what happened in the book was an 8 out of 10, what you're saying is television show's great, book was better. Both of those things are fine to say and still like the television show because the television show is still a 7. So again, just like it for what it is, and yes, inevitably compare it to the other thing that it's based on, but like it for what it is, not for other things.
Perfectly
Well,
said.
we're going to go ahead and sign off here because we've been on here
for so long.
an hour longer than expected. Like I looked over and saw the time and I was like, oh shit. So again,
thanks for staying with us.
Congratulations to our giveaway winner. As soon as we have your information, we will be sending this out to you. I mean, there's a little bit of prep work to do because this
needs to
quite
be signed,
laminated and needs to be signed.
Thank you to Mira. Thank you to everybody for hanging out with us, listening to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We truly do appreciate you. And when we say that the Black Tower protects always, it's only because we have the support of you guys to help us do these things and have fun.
Is supported by viewers like you.
Quick note, point of note.
Point
That's
of
the
note
right
or
way to
note
say
of
it.
point.
Whichever, I don't care. Quick thing to say about from my mouth hole.
Just go. What's the point?
Anyway, to those of you that have been awaiting for the release of our mixology book, again, it is still underway. I did have to reject the first.
We've got it ordered.
digital proof.
It's on order.
So I've got to get in contact with the company that's going to be doing it on Monday, which I will definitely be doing. And we will get that out there. If you were already a patron by the time the Gathering Madness happened. This little mixology booklet is coming to you. We are also bringing one to JordanCon in April to hopefully provide with the bar to see if they will take.
If the bartender will make those drinks for us.
If it's something that you can order as a Wheel of Time inspired drink. Within reason, there's some that obviously they're not going to be able to make, and we're just going to say, hey, look, any of this that you can make, by all means, go ahead and make. Obviously, we can't guarantee anything there, but we will bring it.
Also, I will say to anyone who is worried that this year's mixology book will go the same way as last year's mixology book, two things. Number one, last year's mixology book is included in this year's mixology book, so fuck you. And number two, we're already further in the process than we were last year.
It is already paid for.
Fuck you. So
it is already paid for.
Yes.
Thanks to patrons like those of you that are patrons.
It is true.
And so it's already paid for. We're just finalizing the whole design and printing of it. So that is coming.
Also,
all three of us.
Just to make sure, when I said fuck you, I meant fuck you with love. Because if you're here and listening to me say fuck you, you're already so much higher than everybody else.
All three of us will be at JordanCon in April of 2022. In what year?
All good.
2022.
Thank you.
In the year of
And then we'll
Allah,
also-
2022.
Then we will also all three be at WoTCon for 2022. If you want to learn more about WoTCon and find a way to reserve your hotel rooms, your tickets, go to wotcon.com. It's where everything is. Just like blacktowerpod.com is where everything for us is. WoTcon.com is where everything for WoTCon is. So make sure you go over and check that out and at least see if it's something you may enjoy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But we're going to go ahead and sign off of here. Thank you so much for tuning in to this live stream. We will be doing stuff in the future that is a more in-depth talk about the episodes, because how could we not? Because we're fucking nerds. But for
more
this,
in depth than 2 hours and 45 minutes.
I mean,
we
the sad
scratched
part
the
is we all
surface.
recognize
No,
how
I know.
much we didn't even talk about. But for those of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, thank you so much for tuning into this live stream. Thank you so much for participating and entering the giveaway. I have been your Bajan Mahale, Andrew.
I have been your sort of on Mahale, Josh. Thank
And
you.
I have been your Amin Khan Mahale, Daniel. Thank you again so much from us. We hope that you are having a lovely day and a lovely morning. And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Thank you so much.
In the shadows, always watching, always running the show.
In the tower, you can bring your pain. In the tower, you can feel the strain.
You've been having so much trouble just fitting